Hey guys, and welcome back to the finals day of 2023 before the ATP finals. We've got two matches coming up. We've got the first one that's going to be up is Draper taking on Manarino, two left-handed players. And then the other one that we've got is Umber taking on Shevchenko, which will be fun as well. That one's in Metz. This one is in Sofia. We've been doing Metz all week, but we're going to do the Sofia final first between Jack Draper, the young Brit, trying to get his first title, taking on Manarino, who's trying to get his third title on the season. But yeah, this is the last finals day of the year. Welcome in, everybody. I've never called a Draper match, but I'm excited to. This is a guy who's going to be around a while. Hey, what's up, MJ? Yeah, well, listen. Okay, so we thought it was, so the initial reports were that both matches were going to start at 8. So this was initially going to be a double header where I'm like calling both at the same time, but that just didn't really happen. So instead we're doing this, which is first I'll be calling Draper Manarino, and then possibly the other match will start near the end of it, but more likely there'll be a smooth transition into the next final. So that's kind of how it's going to be. First up, we got Draper Manarino. Ooh, indeed. Like and subscribe. Yeah, that's it. Don't forget to subscribe. We're here year round. We got the Metz Sofia finals. We got Turin next week. Draper here to start us off. Serve. These two have never played, by the way, which is true about a lot of opponents with Draper because he hasn't been around on the tour that much yet. Serve down the tee, forehand Jack, the backhand of Adrian, backhand Draper, the backhand Manarino, backhand Draper, the backhand of Manarino, back to the backhand of Draper, backhand Manarino's good backhand goes long, good depth off the side of Manarino. Hey, what's up, Mike? Surprise, surprise, thought you were going to make it today. Yeah, so I didn't think the finals would be this early. So yeah, my cousin's play starts later in the day. So it worked out. Well, 5. I was happy about it because I really thought too that no tennis today. But yeah, it's good. $15 all. I also haven't called a finals day in a bit, I think. Can't remember it. I guess I did the WTA finals final. But on the men's side, I haven't in a little bit. So I'm excited about it. Second serve here from Jack. Forehand of Adrian. Forehand Jack hits the tape, goes over. Backhand Manarino. Backhand Draper. Backhand volley, put away. Sharp volley. What are we to expect? So that's a good question. Draper's played amazing this week, and I've been waiting for that from him for a while. It is his first final. He could nerve up a bit. He could get nervous. It is his first final, but if he plays, if he plays how we expect he should, then he should win this final. But Manarino's been tough. Like I said, he's won 2 titles this year. But if Draper brings the level he's been playing all week, then he should win this match, in my opinion. Forehand Jack, the backhand of Manarino, backhand slice Jack, the forehand of Manarino, forehand Jack, the forehand of Manarino. That's big into the forehand Jack, forehand Manarino. He got lefty forehand rally here on the outside. That goes out for Manarino, 30 all. Couple good rallies start off. Yeah, these are 2 lefty guys, very different in pretty much every aspect. Manarino 35, Draper just 21 years old. And they play with a very different style of play. Draper much more aggressive than Manarino in every single way. Manarino is a weird player, to be honest. Weird form on his shots. For backhand Draper, the backhand of Manarino, backhand Draper. We have a lot of cross-court rallies so far. Manarino doing slightly better in them in this first game, 30-40. Umber really stepped it up yesterday. Yeah, 6-2, 6-0, or was it 6-0, 6-2? 6-0, 6-2. Yeah, crazy over Fognini. who's not a easy person to bagel like that. We got a break point here for Adrian. First serve is wide. Second serve. Second serve. That's a double fall from Jack. That's why sometimes serving first is not always ideal. That is out. Jack is challenging, but it looked pretty out to me. Challenge. Oh, it is in. Good challenge. Okay. Will be a replay. 30-40. Good challenge. Yeah, Umber. I'm expecting Jack, and I'm expecting Umber. This could be a tight match, though. I'm expecting this to go 3 sets, likely, to be honest. We could see a couple close ones. Let's see. Backhand Manarino. The backhand of Draper. Forehand Manarino. The forehand of Draper. Forehand Manarino. The forehand of Draper. Forehand Manarino. The forehand of Jack. Forehand again. The forehand cross score. A lot of cross courts. Not a lot down the lines. Forehand Draper and forehand of Manarino. Draper might want to go down the line with one of these. Backhand now Draper. Cross court to the backhand of Manarino. It's a good angle. It's too good. Into the ground from Draper. 1-0. Draper needs to not be afraid. He needs to step up, be confident. He needs to be able to take the down the line. Manarino is winning the cross-court exchanges, as he often does. He likes the cross-court exchanges, Manarino, especially off that backhand wing. Yeah, Manarino is definitely really strange. Like, Manarino, like, he hits with such short swings. He steps so short in the court. Like, he looks like he's barely moving out there sometimes. But it's all so, like, dialed down. But he makes it work. He's playing for his career high ranking. If he wins this match, he's 21 in the world, which is higher than he was a couple of years ago, I believe, when he got to 22nd in the world. And he's 35 years old, which is kind of amazing. Hey, what's up, Gene? Good to have you. I mean, his game style doesn't really depend that much on him having the freshest legs around or anything like that. Like, it still works, and he's just killing it, doing the same thing at 35. He is still fit, though, at 35. All right, 1-0. He's got the early break. Draper will have 5 chances to break back. He's got the early break. And by the way, if there is time between finals, I'll look over some of the ATP final stuff a little bit between finals, if that is the case. I do expect this one to go 3 sets. If one of the finals goes 3 sets, I expect it to be this one. I expect it to be Draper Manarino. Over Umber Shevchenko. And the reason that is because Umber is just playing amazing at the moment. Serve Draper, it's in the net. Sorry. Serve Manarino, it's in the net. Second serve for Manarino. Kick serve. The forehand of Manarino. Back in now Draper. The forehand of Manarino. Forehand Draper. That goes long. 15 love. Quicker start here for Manarino. Do you think Draper has the potential to become the new Murray or Henman? Well, to be honest, to me, it's a good question. I don't know. What do we label Murray and Henman in the same camp is the first question. They are, in their own rights, the people who kind of held the mantle for British hope in majors, and people were putting their eyes on them. But Murray was probably, I mean, I always am pretty high on Henman as a player, but probably by 5 to 10 multiples better than Henman. I mean, Murray is like Murray's an all-time great. Henman is pretty far below him when you think about win percentage, when you think about number of titles, and all of the above. 15 all. But can he become? Can he get to the level of Tim Henman? Yeah, I think for sure he can. And I've been high on him for a while. I thought he was really going to rise up this year. It's mostly been injuries. He's been pretty good when he's played. He's been 15-10 in ATP. When he's played going into this event. So he could come out of the season like 20-10 on the season, which is kind of a crazy record. Very winning when he is playing. Backhand into the net for Manarino. 15-30. Draper reached his career high ranking in January this year. He was 38th in the world. And he kind of got injured, started cramping against Rafa, and then it kind of started this year. And yeah, it was right before the Australian Open. Got to 38th in the world. Hasn't risen up past that since. By the way, reports from Turin's that Steph stopped his practice for the second consecutive day due to some elbow pain. That's not good at all if he is feeling that pain, Anthony. Yes, I saw that same report too. I mean, to be honest, he was getting back into the form of all the players to go out. I feel like, I don't know. I'm seeing the least people say that he has a chance of winning the tournament, although he has before. But it's still sad, and you don't want to hear that, especially to end off his season. If he does pull out, then it's Hurkacz who steps in. People were talking about Alcaraz. I didn't fully buy into it. It seems like Alcaraz is more okay now, especially after his practice with Jokovic, where he looked pretty fine, health wise. So, but yeah, hopefully everybody is able to play. Steph got injured earlier in the season in Rotterdam with his shoulder. I guess it's the elbow now, but all right, double break point here for Draper. Break right back. Manarino serve into the forehand. Draper down the line. Forehand Manarino. 2 breaks to start off. Draper 1-1. Draper 1-1. Jose Morgado just reported the news. Yeah, I saw it on X too. I saw it on Twitter. So 1-1 here for Jack. The ATP final should be super interesting. I mean, even if Hurkacz takes his place, Hurkacz is in good form. So from a tennis standpoint, I don't know if it's the most it's not like Jokovic pulled out, but still, you don't want to see it for Tsitsipas. And everyone has a shot. Especially Tsitsipas already won the event. 2 early breaks, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Draper needed that, I felt like. The back end of Draper. Oh, what a shot from Draper. 15 love. Draper is definitely a big serving type of guy, but he's got good shots from the ground. He's got a lot of skills. When you watch him play, you're like, wow, these are some really nice shots that very few players can hit. He's a skillful player, and he should already be top 20 in the world, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. If he wasn't injured, he's got the win record for it, and he's been improving, just hasn't been able to play. Ooh, forehand pass. There you go. Forehand whip from Draper. 30 love. 30 love. From this point onwards, Manarino might have a tougher time breaking Jack than Draper does breaking Manarino. Although we'll see. Serve from Draper. That goes long. Second serve for Draper. Backhand Manarino. The forehand of Draper. Backhand Manarino. The forehand of Draper. Forehand Manarino. That's in the net. 40 love. 40 love. By the way, for everybody joining in, so we'll be doing 2 finals. First is Draper taking on Manarino in Sofia, and then we'll have Umber taking on Shevchenko in Metz. It's possible there will be some layover that they might overlap a bit, but we'll see what happens. An ace for Draper, by the way, first ace 2-1. We'll definitely see some aces today. So what's exciting about Draper is that he's a young guy. He's 21. He turns 22 next month. And listen, he's a very good young player. He was killing at challengers. He's done well at the ATP level pretty much right away. He's just been injured, so we'll see what happens if he can keeps the health up and all of that. Manarino is on the bit of the older side on the tour. He's 35, and he's 23 in the world, trying to get to 21st in the world, a career high ranking with the win here. 3rd title on the season, all 250s. And yeah, very good 39 and 24 on the season coming into this event. So Manarino has had a really good year for him. I mean, not you wouldn't compare him to like a Sinner, Alcaraz, or Djokovic, would you? But he's had a good year for that part of the rankings. 2-1 here for Jack. I'm excited for this though. Two lefties, two very different game styles. I mean, difference in age. 2-1 here for Jack. Manarino going to serve. It's a good one. And I expect 3 sets is definitely likely. Manarino in his career hasn't been that great in finals, actually. He's 4-10 in finals. This is his 15th final, which is kind of amazing that he's even reached 15 finals. But recently he's done way better. This would be, I believe, his fourth title in about 14 months, if I'm not mistaken. He lost about the first 7 or 8 finals of his career, I'd like to say. I think that's right. Or no, I think he won 1, but yeah, this would be his 5th title. Challenge coming here. Replay the point because Draper shot was in. 2-1, love. Serve. Manarino goes out. Second serve. Kick serve. The forehand of Jack. Backhand Manarino. The backhand of Jack. Goes long. 15 love. How tall is Draper? That's why I'm going to look that up. How tall is Draper? Is he like 6'4"? He might be even shorter than that. But I'm going to say 6'4". Let me see. Because I know he's one of these taller guys, but I don't know exactly. 6'4", yeah. 6'4". Backhand, way up high. Forehand, Manarino. Oh, that's a bad swing volley miss from Manarino. Tough shot to hit from that far back. When you're hitting a swinging volley and really hitting through the shot, hitting low, the further you are back, the more kind of, I don't know. You don't want to be too close to the net, I guess, but he was too far back hitting that. It's a tough shot to time and to get above the net. And if you get above the net, to not completely whack it, to control it. 15 all. Hey, what's up, Robert? Good morning. Good to see you. We got finals day. Forehand Manarino. It's behind Jack. It's in the ground. 30-15. What's up? What's up? We got Sofia open. I've been covering Metz all week with the Umber's matches. Excited to call it. But yeah, we're in Sofia with Draper Manarino, 2 lefty guys. It's the last finals before the HB finals. This kind of finishes off the season for these lower tier players, or mostly lower tier players. So it's good to see. But Jack is a lower tier player now. Might not be for a while. And Manarino is climbing up the ranks too. So forehand, the forehand of Manarino, forehand Draper, the forehand of Manarino, forehand Draper, the backhand of Manarino. Cross squat, it's a good backhand. Lob from Draper is a good one. Smash. Oh, no way. Jack nearly hit an amazing shot there. Manarino hit a smash, and it was a pretty good smash. Draper ran to it, jumped up, and hit a smash off of it, just into the net. That would have been a classic. But it's in the net. 40-15. That's one of my favorite shots to watch, the smash off the smash. You rarely see it, but it's so fun. 40-15. It's creative. Serve down the tee. That's in, just in for Draper on the line. That's a winner from Adrian. 2-2. 2-2. Manarino might be the most misleading player on tour because he's really very good. I mean, a guy doesn't get to 15 finals for no reason. It's just amazing he's been able to maximize his game so much. It talks about his skill level. I mean, something I like talking about is what talent really means and stuff. And well, an obvious showcase of talent is having this kind of weird game, but still being able to hit such amazing shots constantly. And I mean, Manarino's talent is obvious anyway. He's hit some amazing shots in his career. Serve down the tee is a challenge from Manarino, from the Frenchman. Good serve from Draper, 15 love. Like I said, it might be tougher for Manarino to break Draper than for Draper to break Manarino now. Forehand, down line, back in Manarino. That's too good. That's why that kind of start was interesting, because I was like, okay, well, Manarino, you broke Draper. I'm not sure you'll be able to do that again. So I think it was important for Draper to get that break back and really say, nah, this is how it's gonna be. I'm gonna serve you off the court. That's how I want this to go. I'm gonna be the one with the advantage on serve. Forehand Manarino, the forehand of Draper, backhand Manarino, the backhand of Draper, backhand Manarino, the backhand slice of Draper, forehand of Manarino, down the line, backhand, Draper defending. It's a forehand, cross court from Draper, backhand now Draper, inside out, forehand Manarino now defending, backhand cross court, backhand into the net, 40 love. You could see at the start both guys kind of feeling each other out. That's what you kind of get with matches like this, with guys playing each other for the first time. Both finals I'm calling today, both players face each other for the first time. Shevchenko, Umber, and Draper, Manarino. It makes sense because Shevchenko and Draper probably together haven't played 100 matches on the tour. So it makes sense. 40 love, triple game point for Draper. Serve out wide, forehand Manarino, backhand Draper, the backhand slice of Manarino, backhand Draper slice to the forehand of Manarino, cross court, forehand Draper. That goes long, 40-15. Doing well, we're up early. Hey, nice, Robert. Yeah. Was it a coincidence that Alcaraz and Jokovic were wearing the same jackets? I don't know, but coincidence or not, what they were wearing was pretty atrocious. That was not. Listen, I'm not one guy to like watch some tennis player play and be like, they're playing atrocious. Like, this is an atrocious player. But that fashion choice, yeah, it could have been better. It was not good. I don't know what Carlos was wearing, to be honest. But no, I don't think so. I think they were trying to do something with it. I just don't think it worked. Forehand Draper, drop shot. That's too good. 3-2. I think Manarino wins this. Ooh, interesting, Gene. I got Draper, but we'll see. It could be Manarino. He's already won 2 titles this year. This is Draper's first ATP final ever. Draper's first ATP final, playing against Manarino, who's in his 15th. What's up, Robert? Brits need a young tennis talent to take over from Murray, who's not going to last much longer. Totally agree. Dan Evans is still around as well. Kyle Edmund kind of dropped off the face of the planet. Don't know where he is. Who else? Liam Brody. Is Liam Brody going to show up? Can we have Liam Brody domination? I want Liam Brody to step up like Alcaraz next year. Is that too much to ask as a tennis fan? The ATP needs to listen to my calls. I want Liam Brody. Liam Brody dominating as a number 1 would be so funny. I want that to happen. It's possible. But yeah, in all seriousness, yes. And I think Draper can. I think Draper's a future top 10. I think he can be a future top 5. But he just needs to play. He looks very good when he plays. It's very annoying. It's like Del Potro, where it's like, just play. And it's like Del Potro too, because he's a very likable guy and very likable player. You just want to see what he would do if he's playing. And we just don't get a chance to see that. But Draper's talented. He's a big hitter. Robert looking forward to ATP finals. Yeah, Turin coming up. 3-2 here for the Draper, which is not a good nickname. I'll try to think of something else. (3-2) here for Jack. By the way, this time last year in Sofia, if you're wondering who won this tournament last year, actually, it wasn't this time last year. Last year, this was played in September, late September, and Marc-Andreas Huesler won this tournament, which is one of the stranger, probably, title champions you would say of the last year or two. But he won the week after Federer retired, as a Swiss player. Became the first Swiss player to win a title since Federer, I think, at that moment. The week after Federer retired last year. That's what happened here last year. 15 love here for Manarino. Hey, Lexi. Hello, Anthony and fans. What's up? Our God. Draper at 3-2. Forehand, Draper. That goes wide. Robert, I've got Manarino in 3. Okay, well, I'm seeing a lot of Manarinos. I've got Draper, but I'm not particularly shocked at it or particularly negative about it. I think Manarino could win this. So I'm not hugely in the side of Draper, but he's played so well this week. And I feel like his power could overpower Adrian. And it's been so consistent. Oh, face on. Stoked after I saw draw preview. Yeah, draw preview out for the Turin finals. That starts tomorrow. I won't be able to call matches for Turin up until Tuesday, but Faison and David will be killing it for I think all the matches on Sunday and Monday, and then starting Tuesday, I'm hoping to do as many as I can for Turin. So I'm so excited for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll be calling matches all week for Turin. Oh, Anthony, thanks for covering Draper. Woohoo! Yeah, I'm excited. It's the first Draper match I've called. Always fun when I call a player for the first time. First serve in the net, second serve. Second serve, forehand Draper, forehand Manarino. The backhand of Draper, forehand Manarino, squash shot. That goes out, 40-15. We're getting much easier service holds now. I mean, the most we're getting is it being 40 love, then it goes to 40-15 or 40-30. But the service games after the first couple games were exchanging of breaks. Both guys just said, hey, here's a break. Traded up breaks, and now it's been easy pickings so far. 2 game points for Manarino. Serve. Out wide for backhand Draper. That goes wide. 3-3. 3-3. Boo, Anthony and Robert. I didn't say anything. Like I say, I've been saying Draper the whole match. I think Draper in straights. I've got Draper in 3 sets, but Manarino, yeah, there's nobody else like him on tour. I was about to say that. Maybe only Cam Norrie is comparable, but even Cam Norrie, I mean, Manarino just plays so weird with like short bunts, like he's playing pickleball. It's like barely moving, very weird kind of player on court. And then he'll hit some like incredible trick shot that you've never seen before in your life, just out of nowhere. So that's basically what you're getting with Manarino. But most of the time, it's not the prettiest form, to be honest. Pretty weird, but hey, we'll see. 30 love. I think the Jokovic group is more interesting. Yeah, we'll look at the ATP finals. Listen, if this match gets done before the next final, or even if it doesn't, I'll look over some of the ATP final stuff before that gets started. It's like he's playing pickleball out Savage. Yeah, it looks like he's bunting it. Forehand Manarino to the backhand of Draper, backhand Manarino. Cross court to the backhand of Draper, backhand Manarino. The forehand of Draper, backhand Manarino. Cross court, that goes out. 40 love. A lot of 40 loves here. MJ, sorry, I got distracted. Now you're good. Thanks for coming in. Now I think Carlos' group is more excited. We'll look at it. Who is it? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Novak, Tsitsipas, Rublev, and who's the fourth? I'm just missing that fourth. And Sinner, of course. Sinner. Ooh, forehand. Big cross-court return from Adrian. 40-15. 40-15. It's still Draper at 40-15, though. Draper doing well on serve ever since that first game of the match. Serve here from Draper. The forehand of Manarino. Forehand Draper. Backhand of Manarino. Forehand Draper. The backhand of Manarino. Backhand Draper. Down the middle to the forehand of Manarino. Backhand Draper. The backhand of Manarino. Backhand Draper. Inside out. Forehand Manarino defending. That's back to the side, though. Doesn't cross the net. It's 4-3. Come on, Draper. Yeah. Draper at 4-3. Draper going for his first title. This is a guy who's been injured all year, but listen, if he wins this match, he's 20-10 on the season. 20-10. That's like what, 67% win percentage? That's very, very good. So he just needs to play. But he's up to a live number 61 in the world. And let me see if he wins this match, Draper. If Draper wins this match, he's number 48 in the world, which is much closer to where he should be, at least. It should be closer to like 20 or 25, but we'll take it. MJ in here. What's up? What's up? Good to have you. Good to have you. What's up, Sean, as well? Now the touring comments made me remember the Stefanos attire. Everybody is picking on Stefanos' fit. There's somebody on Twitter said this guy coming in like this guy thinks he's Jesus. Somebody else on Twitter said, well, he is. Maybe he is. I was like, okay. The fans are weird. Yeah, 4-3 for Jack. Do you think Draper could win a major at some point? It's a good question, Sean. Yes, I do think so, though. I really do. I genuinely think so. Wimbledon is a chance. Did he even play Wimbledon this year? I just remember Jack Draper playing the very first match of Wimbledon, I think in 2021. And he took the first set against Jokovic. So that's something I remember from Draper. He looks very good on grass courts. He pretty much has a chance anywhere, probably aside from Roland Garros, though. But we'll see. I definitely think so. I'm high on Draper. I mean, he's probably not going to win 24 majors, but could win a major, yeah. I just want to see him play to have a better idea. But every time I've seen him play, he's been amazing. Even in challengers, everybody. I mean, there was loud noise when Ben Shelton was kind of killing it at the challengers. There was loud noise when a guy like Talon Griekspoor was killing it at challengers too, although some of his were when he was a bit older. But Draper, when Draper was killing it at challengers, I heard some big noise. Some of the most I've heard since Alcaraz came out of the challengers. There is some noise about Jack, and I was like, wow. Everybody was like, this is the next guy. And I don't blame people. It makes sense. He's got a big serve. He's got everything else too. Serve here, Manarino. The backhand of Draper. Way up high, forehand. Manarino, that goes out 30-15. I like Draper, but the cramps. Yeah, he's got everything but the physical side. That's it. Possibly mental as well, but it looks pretty solid. He played a very good match in Basel against Alcaraz at the end of 2022, where I was very impressed. And right after coming from challengers, I think it was either Washington or Cincinnati, Canada, one of those tournaments. He beat a couple of seeds, a couple of top guys. He's transitioned well already, or right away. Backhand Draper, cross court to the backhand of Manarino. Backhand Draper, the backhand of Manarino. Backhand Draper, backhand Manarino, the backhand of Draper, backhand Manarino. Backhand to backhand. Draper is not willing to go down the line very much so far. He needs to more, I think. Backhand Manarino. The forehand to Draper. That goes out. Draper is too willing to go into these cross-court rallies with Manarino. Manarino likes the cross-courts more. And it makes sense when you look at his form. The form he has on his shots. It's harder for him to redirect and go down the line. He's very comfortable hitting it cross-court. And it makes sense. As well. I mean, over the lower part of the net. But, yeah, 4-4. And that's the thing about Manarino. He can constantly keep the ball low, which is good for him. They're mean. they're picking on Steph. I like Draper, but the cramps, yeah. I don't think he's better than Tim Henman. That's possible. Tim Henman is kind of underrated in my opinion. Tim Henman, I feel bad for Henman, man. I as soon as Murray won Wimbledon, I was like, okay, can we please apologize to Henman? Because Henman got such the bunt of so many comments. Even in the States, I saw it. The internet is the thing, but I wasn't watching tennis at the time, but even after the fact, when Murray was trying to go for Wimbledon, people were talking about, oh, Henman was awful. He couldn't do it. He got to 6 Wimbledon semifinals. Do you know how tough it is to get to 5 Wimbledon semifinals? I know he was points away against Sampras. It's not easy to finish a match against Sampras. Ask Alex Corretja at the U.S. Open. So yeah, no love lost to Henman. Henman is the Brit guy, right? Yeah. Used to be called Henman Hill. People are trying to rebrand it as Murray Mountain. What could it be with Draper if Draper does something? Come on, Draper. Yeah. Murray should have won more Wimbledons, but because he was playing in the era of Federer and Djokovic, only won 2. Draper could win more than 2. Who knows? What a crazy stat that would be. Anyway, I don't know. 6 semis. What? I don't know how many it was, but it was like 4 or something. 6, I think, is exaggerated. I'll look it up real quick. Tim Edmond. No, for real. Like, this is a British guy. He was killing it at Wimbledon. Yeah, 4 semifinals at Wimbledon. He reached 4 semifinals at Wimbledon, never reached the final. That's why people were excited in 2012 when Murray got to the final. And then he lost to Federer in a heartbreaker. He almost led 2-0 against Roger. But Roger has a great mentality, which people don't like to talk about because he always chokes against Jokovic. But Federer came back in that final. And then people were like, oh my God, Murray's going to be the same as Henman. He's never going to win it. And then Murray won the Olympics just like 2 weeks later against Federer in the final and like winning like 6-2, 6-3, 6-2 or something. I still remember that match. And then Murray won the next year. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, looking at the kind of semifinals he reached, he lost to Hewitt in straight sets in 2002. Hewitt would win the tournament. In 2001, that was when Federer beat Sampras, so that wasn't the Sampras year. He lost to Ivan Nisevic in 5 sets. He led up 2-1, and he won the third set 6-0. He led 5-7, 7-6, 6-0, and then he lost the match to Goran Ivanisevic, who was a wild card. That really started the hate on Henman, if it didn't start the year before. And then 1999, I'm pretty sure that was the Sampras year. Yeah, Sampras and Henman. Henman was up a set and then lost. And then what else? 1998. Tim Henman, another semifinal against Sampras again, and again he won a set against Sampras but lost. So Henman had tons of chances. There. Draper, okay, Alejandro, we'll see what happens. Jack is very good. But yeah, he reached 4 semifinals at Wimbledon. Never a final, though. Backhand Draper. The forehand of Manarino. Forehand Draper. The forehand of Manarino. The forehand of Draper. Forehand Manarino. How is he hitting the forehands like this? So weird. Forehand Draper. The forehand. I don't understand it. Okay, like, I don't feel like this should be allowed. It looks like he's literally just like catching the ball in his racket when he's hitting the forehand and just pushing it. I've never seen a forehand like this. He's literally not even swinging into it. He's like not swinging. He's just pushing. He's going right to where the ball is and just pushing, and it's working. And I don't like it. Anyway, left 15. Manarino, how does he play like this? It's so weird. No swings, just pushing. Into the ball. I don't mean pushing like pushing, although some would say, but backhand Draper, oh, it's in the net down the line. It could have made it. It's in the net. To me, it's like saying Ben Shelton can win a major. Don't see it happening. Never know. I think a bit early to say. I do like Draper more than I like Shelton in general. The win percentage in their careers so far kind of adds up to that as well. But we'll see. Both guys with big serve and pretty decent rest of their game. Young players around the same age and killed it at challengers. Now moving up. Backhand Manarino cross court to the backhand slice of Draper. Forehand Manarino. That goes long. It's 15-30. It's a chance for Jack. It's a chance for Jack. 15-30. By the way, if you're just joining in, this is the first final we're doing. We're doing Umber taking on Shevchenko. Are you kidding me? That's fun too. Okay. That's later in Metz. I'm excited for that. Umber has been on something. And he deserves a title for how well he's played this year. And Shevchenko in his first final. 15-30. Draper 2 points away from the set. First serve into the net. Second serve. Kick serve to the forehand of Draper. That goes out, 30-all. He beat Tsitsipas in Montreal last year. Okay, thank you, Gene. Yeah, that was it. I had a feeling it was Steph, but I couldn't say it for sure. Yeah, Steph in Montreal. That was like pretty much right coming off of challengers. And everybody was super excited about him. He had this match against Monfils where Monfils started getting injured and was hobbling a bit. And then Monfils didn't play up until I think like April this year. But yeah, Draper had a great run towards the last kind of end of the year last year, and then he's just been injured, which is unfortunate. Similar to Korda as well, Sebastian Korda, another one. The young guys just can't get the body right. Forehand, Manarino, the forehand of Draper, backhand Manarino, cross court, the backhand of Draper, forehand Manarino, the backhand of Draper, inside out, forehand Manarino for a pass, forehand Draper volley. Ooh, that's a good pass for Manarino. The margins in tennis are so small. He just put enough extension and enough effort into that shot. Put his all into it. Not an easy one. Just got enough angle on it. Good forehand there. There's a bit more swing on that forehand. When he really swings into it, he can hit a great shot. 40-30. Game point to escape what looked like it was going to be a tricky game for Manarino. Serve coming here. Is it going to be a lefty wide serve? It is. Oh, hell of an angle. I called it, didn't I? It's a challenge here from Jack. Jack is laughing about it because he got such a crazy angle. Yeah, of course it is. That angle that Manarino got was just very unlikely. Second serve here for Manarino. Serve the forehand of Draper, forehand Manarino. The backhand of Draper, backhand Manarino. The backhand of Draper. Oh, forehand, I mean, on the slide. Forgetting that we're watching lefties. Forehand on the slide. It's a perfect forehand winner. Deuce. Perfect forehand pass. Sinner, Rublev are next gen, not Shelton, Draper. I mean, Rublev's a bit older, though. Rublev's like 26, so he's kind of more so in like the Medvedev camp. But yeah, he's on the younger side. But he's kind of this gen already, I would say. Forehand put away. But yeah, Sinner, Alcaraz, Runa, you could say. Stefanos loses to just anyone, Gene. Stefanos upsetting. Greek hasn't won a major either, yeah. As time passes, Greek and Zverev look like they can't win a major. Don't look like they can win a major. Steph may be at RG. We'll see. Advantage here for Manarino. Serve out wide, forehand. Draper goes for it, but it's too difficult of a shot down the line, 5-5. Draper's looking like the shot selection isn't quite there for him, which kind of makes sense. You're used to that at the top of the tour. And what does that mean exactly? Well, when you're at the top of the tour, it's harder to have shot selection than when you're playing even high-level juniors. At the highest level, it can be tempting to just try to kill a ball when you have any kind of shot at it, or to just play safe and hit it easy. So it's like at the highest level, it's much harder to have good shot selection because there's stuff that feels easier to and safer to just do. And also just these guys who are on the younger side, gain more experience playing these matches. I mean, of the younger, I think maybe Ruda is lost. I still believe in Ruda a bit, but I understand that. Sinner and Alcaraz, I've been saying for a while. Listen, at French Open, I mean, it's whatever, but at French Open, people were saying Runa's better than Sinner. Absolutely. I was like, can we just wait? I was like, I think Sinner and Alcaraz are going to spearhead this next era. I think a lot of other guys are great too, like Runa, like Draper, like Korda, like Shelton. And Runa probably deserves to be that promising third player for sure. No disrespect to Runa. I'm actually quite high in his mentality. I think he's a very skilled player with a lot of potential, a lot of variety in his game, but he's got a lot to figure out as well. And the win percentage being solid match in, match out, the constant improvements, it's not like what I was seeing in Yannick. Also, Yannick is just ridiculously talented. And to me, that was obvious from the start, even with all of his, I guess, obvious flaws as well. Forehand, cross court into the forehand of Manarino. Backhand Draper, the forehand of Manarino. Forehand Draper, down the line, that goes long, 30-15. That Andy final against Novak was really emotional for him. I teared when the mom cried. Yeah, that last game, in my opinion, is one of the best games of tennis ever played. Like 5 deuces. Yeah, I'll never forget it. Especially the Gordon one, that 5-set epic. Yeah, 2001. Yeah, 2001 was crazy. What's up, Alejandro in here? Old woman at my club use these sort of rackets where they get power somehow. Goes out 40-15. I was at 3 of those Henman semis. It was agonizing. The breakfast club. Yeah, that sounds agonizing. Listen, if you're cheering on the Brits, that sounds tough, man. Especially that one against Ivan Isavic, where he won 6-0, then lost the next 2 sets. I feel bad. Time to break, Draper. Come on. Yeah. Who's covering Hugo and Shevchenko? Lexi, I am. This is a double stream. Lexi, this was initially going to be a double header. I was gonna do the Cam Williams thing. I was gonna try to double header this because initially the reports were that this was at 8 o'clock. That's what we saw, which is when this one started. That both were at 8 o'clock, but that didn't happen. So my first double header is gonna have to wait. Maybe next year at some point. But anyway, that one will be called on right after this. So yeah, I'll be covering both. Shelton and Draper are next gen. Damn it. You know who's next gen is Artur Feast. And Artur Feast, I know there's a bit of a bandwagon be like Artur Feast, like this is the kid. I was saying it back in the day. Like I was saying it like late November challengers last year, which some people even beat me to that and got there earlier. But I was like, this kid is so talented. Marathon Mood Anthony. Yeah, of course, Lexi, always. Yeah, I'm excited to call it 2 finals. When Joko retire, Wimbledon is going to be a good chance for many players. Totally agree. It's a good chance for Draper. I think Draper is going to win Wimbledon at some point. By the way, they're showing an electric Draper pass there off the forehand side in that last game. Just on the full slide. Shows the athleticism Draper has as well. But it's tough because, listen, it's tougher for these guys who are a bit taller, like Draper, who move around a lot. Like we saw Opelka was injured for a bit. Del Potro is a guy who's 6'6", and he got injured a lot. And there are other parts of their game that make sense with that too. But the one exception is Daniil Medvedev, who's 6'6", and his game is as defensive as anybody's. Daniil Medvedev barely makes sense. Backhand Manarino, the forehand of Draper, cross court, forehand of Manarino, backhand Draper, cross court, the backhand of Manarino, forehand Draper, the forehand of Manarino, cross court, forehand of Draper, the forehand of Manarino, the forehand of Draper, cross court again, or down the middle, forehand now, Draper into the backhand Manarino, backing down the line, the forehand now on the ad side, forehand slide down the line. Draper's hitting down the line at all the wrong times. Draper is going for the down the line when he should be going cross court. He's going down the line to hit this flashy down the line winner. He should be going down the line earlier because Manarino is really winning these cross court exchanges. Shelton and Feast has a brewing romance. Yeah, what was it that they wrote the other day? I thought it was funny. 2 weeks ago, young and humble. That's a funny thing to say, to be honest. Like if you're gonna troll people, that is a funny thing to say. 15 love. To call yourself humble like that's funny, to be honest. The fact that they both did that. 15 love. I don't really get it with Feast though. I mean, yeah, he's like passionate and stuff. I've never seen him. I don't know. Forehand cross court, the forehand of Draper. Maybe I've just not seen something, but forehand Manarino, the backhand of Draper. It's in the net. 30 love. I just think people don't like to see tennis changing and people being passionate. I think that's what I think. So, yeah. Artur Feast is great. I'm a fan of Artur Feast. I'll say now, I'm a fan of Artur Feast. Listen, the guy's just so talented. The guy can hit a killer between the leg shot as well. The guy hit this amazing shot at Laver Cup where there's an overhead from Raonic, and he was like in the crowd, and he hit a smash winner back. The guy's so talented, so fun to watch. That's what you want to see in tennis. Serve out wide, back in Draper, miss hits it long, 40 love. Doesn't quite have the consistency from the back of the court that you'd want to see from a top 10, top 15 player yet, Jack. But he's still very good, improving. Serve coming here from Manarino. First serve in the net, second serve. The forehand of Draper, forehand Manarino, the backhand of Draper. Cross court, backhand Manarino, backhand Draper, the forehand of Manarino, backhand now, Draper down the middle. A bit too central here. Ooh, that's a good backhand cross court though. Good angle, though. 40-15. Listen, ever since that first game, I don't know if we've had break points. Let me check on that real quick. I don't know if we've had break points ever since that first game. Not a surprise, though, that we're seeing a tiebreaker here, to be honest. In a Draper match. But has there been a break point? Yeah, just two, one break point for either guy. And it was the 2 breaks early on. Serve here from Manarino. Hits the tape. Goes wide. Second serve. Kick serve. Backhand Draper. The backhand Manarino. Backhand Draper. Backhand to Manarino. Backhand slice. Slices into the forehand of Adrian. Forehand now. The forehand to Draper. Cross court. Forehand Manarino. That's in the crowd. Shanked. 40-30. Okay. Something. There's something. Sean, people have been saying that for nearly a decade. Jokovic has shown no signs of retiring. He's certainly the best 36-year-old we've ever seen. To be fair, though, Breakfast Clock, something I have been saying, though, is Jokovic at this moment in time is still younger than Federer when he won his last major, for example. So even though he's the best 36-year-old we've ever seen, listen, the guy's been dominating at the top with a very physical game style for a long time. We'll see. We'll see what happens. He's still... Oh, it's a shanked forehand that's going out. 6-6. But yeah, I mean, Djokovic looking like he has no sign stopping. But when he does, I agree. Wimbledon is going to be interesting. Sinner. I feel like Yannick Sinner is a guy to watch there. And a Sinner Alcaraz Wimbledon finals really would be an absolute treat. Maybe next year. If Djokovic doesn't step up. Injuries can sneak up on a player like Fed towards the end of his career, Sean. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Mother Nature. Mother Nature. Mother Nature never loses. So, all right, it's a tiebreaker here. Draper serving. Serve out wide, backhand in the net for Manarino. 1-0. for Jack. All right, let me know, guys. Who's win this tiebreaker? What's going to be the score? Let me know in the chat. I say Draper wins this tiebreaker 7-4. That's my prediction. 7-4 for Draper. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Serve here from Manarino. First serve is wide. Manarino not making enough first serves, to be honest, especially hitting that lefty wide serve. Draper kind of bluffing at the back of the court, running all over. Forehand Manarino. Down the line, backhand slice is a good pass from Draper. Ooh, Draper nearly gets it 1-1. Draper's got some explosive speed from the back of the court. He hasn't made a lot of these shots, but he's looked good doing like he's looked solid like doing it. Like he's looking close. You know what I mean? Mother Nature. I'm a great tennis commentator, aren't I? Mother Nature. Manarino 7-5, Draper 7-4. All right, Lexi. Great minds, great minds. 1-1. Serve down the tee. Too good for Manarino. 2-1. Great minds, Lexi. 2-1. Anthony with the doubleheader, Manor. What's up, Manor? Yeah, it was going to be a doubleheader. We thought this was going to start at 8. Sorry, this starts at 8. But we thought the other one was going to start at 8 as well. So that didn't happen. But yeah, double match. The next final, I'll be commentating right after this one. So backhand into the net. Draper always looks like he believes he will win tiebreaks. Yeah, that's good. That's important. That's what you want to see. Listen, Ivo Karlovic, he played so many tiebreakers in his career. He played the second most tiebreakers of anybody in his career. Guess what? He won less than 50%. It's not just about getting to the stage. It's about winning the tight moments. You have to have that belief. Draper 8-6. I was going to say a closer score at first, but I went with 7-4. That's interesting, Mike. Let's see. Eliza believes Novak aspires to be the first 40-year-old to take a slam. Yeah, I heard that. I don't think so. I don't think so, but we'll see. That would be crazy, huh? I just don't know if that's much harder than, I mean, Jimmy Connors got to a semifinal at 39. Ken Rosewall, I believe, got to a couple finals at 39, but he didn't win one. Federer got like a point away from winning Wimbledon at 38, or almost 38, a month from turning 38. And Rosewall won one at 37. Federer won one at 36. But listen, once you start getting up there, 36, 37, it's becoming unprecedented. If Djokovic wins Wimbledon next year, he's still not the oldest man to win a major. If he wins the U.S. Open, he will be. So that's what it is. If he wins the Australian Open, he'll be older than Federer when he won his last major. That's kind of where those stats are at the moment. 3-3. What's up, Max N? What's up? Good to have you. Hey, Max. But yeah, I personally don't think so. But if you listen to the new Tennis 360, which by the way, thanks all for the appreciation on that. I've seen that podcast is doing really well. So appreciate everybody who listened to it. But yeah, I think me and Eliza did a $10 bet that Novak's not going to win a major at 40. Listen, I'm a Novak fan. I love to see him keep winning. People doubted him at the start of his career. Of all the players to become the greatest of all time, he's had the hardest route there. People act like Novak is like this perfect, unbeatable force that never loses, has never lost in his career. This is a guy that was like just a kind of class clown at the start of the tour. He was always specifically put third to Federer and Nadal all the way, even maybe to Murray. That's the guy who had to fight to get to where he is. Also, he's perfected his game. He doesn't always play amazing. He's perfected it along the way with more matches. That's when he's really found his best level. His forehand is looking as good as ever. His net game. That's the guy who's fought to get where he is, and he's deserved every bit of it. So I don't mind to see Novak winning. I just don't think 40 years old is realistic, reliable. But if anybody's to do it, then it might be Djokovic. If not, the next gen coming up with the new science on the way, where people will be playing till 50. So backhand. Forehand, Manarino, flick, hits the tape, goes over, forehand volley. Ooh, solid reactions from Draper, 4-4. 4-4. Everybody's tiebreak predictions can still be right, by the way. We got 4-4. Yeah, this is looking tight. Draper, 10-8. Max, wow, big call. Think that if Djokovic drops off because of injury/age, he won't hang about as a non-top 4 player as Murray, Nadal, Federer have. Yeah, well, Rafa hasn't really either, but I guess he's trying to come back. We'll see about Rafa still, but I just don't know. I agree with you. I think he's going to keep playing as long as he feels like he has chances at the big tournaments. That's what I feel. But I think Djokovic is like that. Backhand slice into the forehand of Manarino. That goes out. It's 5-4 for Draper. We're still on serve though. Yeah, sensible thoughts, Anthony. Yeah. So we'll see. With age Draper, yeah. Well, he's at 5-4. We'll see. It's still looking not that bad. Draper's at 5-4. The young Brit trying to get his first title. And wouldn't this be a good way to end the 2023 season going into 2024? To see Draper get it done, finally get a title, get to somewhere where he belongs going into the next season. Hopefully he's healthy. Serve down the tee. Manarino forehand. He's coming. Cross court. Too good. 5-5. All right. Well, my prediction was wrong. I said 7-4. We still got chances for both guys here. Some like it hot of an epic tiebreak movie reference. Nice. 5-5. 5-5. What happens next? You let me know. Because I don't know. Manarino with the serve. You'd want a first serve here. A good free first serve. He gets one out wide. That's in the net from Draper. Adrian Manarino gets a set point. We saw a couple 10-8s and 8-6s. This set does have that kind of vibe, like it might have a long tiebreaker. Because the reason for that is because neither guy has really been reading the other person's serve very well. Draper with the serve. Serve out wide, forehand Manarino. That goes out. It is going to be an extended tiebreak. 6-6. 6-6. By the way, guys, don't forget to subscribe to Quality Shot Tennis if you're new. If you're here for the first time, or if you're here for the 10th time and you just haven't subscribed. Either way, don't forget to subscribe. We'll be here for the Turin ATP Finals. Listen, we'll be here for 2024. I'm excited for 2024 the Olympics is going to be next year. And that's going to be at the French Open. Rafa's coming back, hopefully. Novak, Carlos, also guys like Sinner, Runa, Tsitsipas. The list goes on as well. So it's exciting. So don't forget to subscribe, Quality Shot, 10 if you're new. And don't forget to like the stream if you're enjoying it. Anthony Hirsch here on the commentary. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. 6-6, Draper here to serve. First serve in the net. That seemed like a nervy first serve. That was in the bottom of the net. If I'm nice, the middle of the net. Kick serve to the backhand Manarino. Backhand Draper. Cross court to the backhand Manarino. Backhand drop shot Draper. A couple nervy shots from Draper there. The nerves got to Jack playing it in his first final. Listen, you see Draper, Manarino, and you're like, oh, well, this isn't a final between two top 20 guys. It's not. But what it is Manarino's in his 15th final of his career. So he's been here before. This is not his first hoedown. 7-6. It's a phrase I've never said before. 7-6. Say new phrases on stream for some reason. 7-6 for Manarino. Set point. Adrian. Oh, it almost bluffs out Draper with a serve down the tee. Usually with that lefty serve, he'd go out wide. But he goes long. Second serve. Kick serve, forehand Draper. Well, he goes for it. Goes long. Adrian Manarino has the first set. Jack is going to have to do it in 3 sets. Wow. 8-6 for Adrian Manarino. Who got it in the chat? Who got it? Somebody said Draper 8-6. Who said Manarino? Manarino 7-5. That might be the closest. I might have to give it to Gene here. Who else said it? So we have an 8-6, but it was for Draper. 7-5 for Manarino. If we mix those together, then we got it. I'm gonna give it to Gene, who said Manarino 7-5. There we go. Shout out Gene. She got it with a call. Enjoying as usual. I appreciate Mike. I was close. You're close, Gene. Yeah, you nearly got it. There you go. You nearly got it. It was a bit more extended, but yeah, you nearly got it. Sucker, Lexi. Yeah. Damn it. As soon as Jack went for that big forehand down the line, I heard Lexi. I heard your groans in the chat. I verbally heard your groans from the chat. I hate it. 7-6 for Manarino over Draper. I said yesterday that Manarino is a tricky opponent, and he definitely is. Yeah, he is. He's very tough to play. You never know what you're going to get. He's very I can't think of the right word. Not misleading, but you look at him and you're like, this isn't what I'm expecting to come out of you, Manarino. Like, he's hitting bunts and stuff. Like, he's hitting these weird shots where he's not swinging very much, but they're effective. He's hitting with constant depth. And then on a moment's notice, especially when he's pulled out and is running a bit, he can put a good swing and hit a good forehand. He's very solid off both wings, despite the form on his shots. He's just good. He's a very tricky player out there. Pretty smart player. Pretty crafty. I'm not doubting Zverev in the ATP finals. He's won there twice, Max. I am doubting Zverev in the ATP finals. I don't think that's fair. Not as a I respect that opinion, but for me, I am doubting Zverev in the ATP finals because I think Rublev. By the way, Draper absolutely furious after that set. I thought I heard that. Yeah, throws his racket and absolutely smashes into his racket bag. I don't know about Zverev. I just think unorthodox, Anthony, is not the word you're looking for. That's not, but it's a good word, Gene. I just like you look at him and what you're seeing is not where you're gonna get. That's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, Zverev, Rublev, and Medvedev have held Zverev's number all year, especially on indoor courts as well. And Zverev, I just don't know. I don't really like him in his group, and everybody is playing so well at the moment. But we'll see. We'll see. You don't want to totally doubt a 2-time champion. He'll have the confidence, but I hate tiebreakers. We'll never ever. We should just go back to every set's extended. If you look at the score lines back in the day, it's crazy stuff like 13-11, 7-9, 7-5. Like they didn't play with tiebreakers up until the 1970s. Forehand Draper, the forehand of Manarino, cross court, the forehand of Draper, forehand Manarino, the forehand of Draper, forehand Manarino, first point of the set, backhand, the Bryn to the backhand, The Frenchman backhand slice. The forehand of Manarino to the forehand of Draper. Good rally here. Backhand cross court. Solid from Manarino. That's what we're talking about. Tricky opponent. He's got the angles. I would be too. Draper just wasted the opportunity arc. Yeah, you could. I sensed it off the first serve at 6-6. He just felt very tight because it was not like him. Very tight there. First set of exactly 1 hour is very neat work from all concerted. Yeah. 1 hour played. If we go 3 sets, this really could overlap with the other finals, so we'll see. So not Max, I had Draper. Let's see if losing the first set remains in his head. Yes, I think he'll come back. That was a big forehand return down the line. He's got to be smarter with the shots though, and he's got to play looser. Jack's got to play confident. I feel like the confidence is the thing for Jack. And that's part of why he's kind of going for the cross court with Adrian Manarino rather than going for the down the line shot. He needs to play, take a few more chances. 15-30. Draper for a chance with a quick break here. This would be massive for Jack. Massive. Like I said earlier, Manarino is 35 years old. And he's playing for a career high ranking. If he wins this match, he's 21st in the world. In the match we're watching later, Umber is another Frenchman he's also playing for his career high ranking of 20th in the world. If Umber wins, it doesn't matter what Manarino does. He'll be the year-end French #1. But Manarino at least trying to give himself a chance here. 15-40. Forehand goes long for Manarino. The story of the man who invented tiebreaks is fascinating one, Breakfast Club. I read into it at one point, but feel free to say it in the chat. I'll read it out. Say it in the chat because I want to hear it. 15-40. I remember it was for the US Open 1970. I heard the story before, but I can't remember it. Second serve from Adrian. Kick serve. It's not a great serve chance for Draper. Backhand. Backhand Draper. Backhand rally. Backhand back to that deuce side. We're going deuce side to deuce side. It's a backhand. Down the middle. Backhand to backhand. Backhand cross court. Adrian. The backhand Draper goes down the line. It's in the net. I like it though. He needs to at least try it. He needs to find the right opportunity and take his chance. I'm glad he at least went for that. So there's such a thing as a bad miss. I didn't fully understand that notion when I was 10 or 11 years old. I was like, I don't care. Like, if I miss it, it's a bad shot. Like like coaches will tell you that's a bad winner or that's a good error. Like, I didn't understand that, but it's true. Backhand slice Draper. The forehand of Manarino. Backhand Manarino to backhand Draper. Lefty, both lefties on the court. Not the usual match you'll see on the ATP. Backhand to backhand. Backhand Manarino into the forehand of Draper. Backhand Manarino. The backhand of Draper. Backhand Manarino. Backhand Draper. Down the middle. Backhand Manarino. The forehand of Draper. Forehand Manarino. The forehand Draper down the line. It's a good shot. He's got to do that. Forehand Draper drop shot. Is that a good play? Manarino gets it. Ooh, banana shot right past Manarino. Great shot from Jack. Let's go, Jack. 1-0. Okay. Quality shot zone. Jack Draper. You guys remember that? At the start of Quality Shot videos, Jack Draper says, shout out Quality Shot Tennis. We're a Jack Draper fan. US Open's the only Grand Slam to have tiebreaks in the final set until the 3 other Grand Slams started having tiebreaks in the final set. Yes. Unfortunately, I don't like it. I wish we still had extended sets. At least to 12-12 or something, you know? But at 6-6, I just don't like it, especially at Wimbledon. It's just not Wimbledon. Even have it at Roland Garros. It's just not Wimbledon. Wimbledon's got to have the extended sets. I don't like it. I know it was put in place because of Isner versus Anderson and Isner versus Mahou, but Isner retired. Can we bring it back? Isner left. The big man, the big server is left. The big server left. The big guy left. Can we bring back the extended sets? But also it wasn't just the final set. It was also the other sets back in the day that every single set was extended. Hope my comment makes sense. No, it does, Max. Yeah. And it's good knowledge. Good knowledge. That's true. Hope Draper takes it up a notch. He has already. Backhand Draper. Cross court. Well, I think so. Hit it out. Bad winner, good error. Yeah, that's what I say on here, but if I'm playing tennis, I think a little bit differently. I'm just like, screw it, I got it. Screw it, I got it. I'll do it next time too. Someone in the forum said that Carlos has looked very vulnerable these last months, and I agree. I totally agree. And it happened last year too. Probably a little bit earlier this year than last year, but listen, probably Alcaraz, any version of Alcaraz would have lost to Medvedev at the U.S. Open the way Medvedev was playing, because that's one of the most memorable performances maybe I've seen watching tennis, certainly of the last 2 or 3 years, certainly of this year. Medvedev's performance against Alcaraz at the U.S. Open to kind of turn it around their head. But yeah, Carlos, he's just not playing well. He's not really, I don't know. He's not looking like himself for sure. He's kind of on the back foot when he is going for winners. He's hitting a lot of errors. He's not really he's just not playing smart either. But that's kind of happened at this part of the season on the indoors as well. Backhand in the net for Manarino, 30-15. Manarino has a great season. Yes, 2 titles, beating Medvedev, reaching top 25. Yes, reaching top 25 again. I think he was outside the top 50 to start the season. And maybe even more than that. I think outside top 60. And guess what? He's let me tell you his record on the year. This is his record on the year, Manarino. 39-24. He's 39-24 on the season, which is so crazy. That's so crazy. So 43-24 at this moment, counting in this tournament. Jack Simps, yeah, 40-15. We got some in the chat. I think a tiebreak at 12-12 was quite good, Sean. I totally agree. I mean, I thought it was a little bit, even that was a little bit unfortunate for 2019. And if it is 12-12 tiebreak, maybe it should go 10 points instead of 7, but I'm fine with the 7 points as well. Just the 2019 tiebreaker got a little bit underwhelming, but yeah, 12-12 is way better than 6-6. Shiz bananas, B-A-N-N-A-S. I like the quotes, 2-0. What, Draper broke him? Yes, Lexi. Lexi, are you not watching? There you go. Yeah, Draper got the break, 2-0 for Draper. I probably didn't hype him up enough. I think I'm jinxing Draper. I'll be right back. All right, no problem, Lexi. Novak liking all many account posts. Oh, Novak. 2-0. Jack with the lead here. The big server, the big hitter, getting the nod up over the crafty Frenchman at the tail end of this season. Listen, all we have left after this is Turin. The final battle, Manarino taking on Draper. The final battle until the next final, which is Umber taking on Shevchenko. And then after that, after Turin, we have Davis Cup. And then after that, we have UTS and exhibition. So tennis never sleeps, which I'm not sure is good. It would be good to have a longer offseason, in my opinion. I think it only makes sense. I think it would cause a lot of help to a lot of players to have time to improve their games and to, I don't know, take a break mentally, physically. The physical aspect is a big one. Jack opts for a big forehand there down the line. It was love 15. That could have been a big chance for Jack. I think he pulled the court too early. That kind of comes with experience. You don't just want to win the big points like break points. If you have a chance like 0-2 love 15, you want to make sure, okay, let me get a double break lead here. Let me play safe and get a double break. It takes some mental chops there, but that's a moment where you don't want to just go for an error. That's a big point, even though it doesn't really look like it. Backhand Manarino, the backhand of Draper, down the middle, forehand Manarino, the backhand of Draper, backhand Manarino, the backhand Draper, down the middle, backhand, forehand Draper, cross court, forehand Draper, now the other way, backhand, the backhand Draper, down the middle. The backhands are very central from Draper. Backhand, cross court, the backhand, cross court of Draper on the full slide. That's a great backhand, though. Backhand slicing away into that ad side. Ooh, forehand shot of the match from Jack. 15-30. I can't tell you how good that was, because that was a backhand on the full slide, then a backhand slice, beautiful, then a forehand slide And amazing shot onto that ad side. That was electric to watch. That slice was incredible in itself. 3 amazing shots to end that rally from Draper. Full slide and just beautiful extension and control. Just slaps it down the line. Great shot there. 30 all. 30 all. Manarino with a winner service out wide. $30 all. Big point. Potentially a big point. If Manarino wins this point, he's still in the set. Or if he wins this game. Serve down the tee. Forehand Manarino. Down the line. That's too good from Adrian. 40-30. Manarino going for his 5th title and his 4th title in 14 months. His 3rd title of the year. All past 34, 35 years of age. So serve here for Manarino. Out wide to the forehand of Draper. Forehand. Manarino's chipped. Backhand down the line. The forehand of Manarino across court. Forehand Draper. Good to neutralize. Forehand Draper. The backhand of Manarino. Forehand Draper cross court. The forehand of Manarino. Bigger shot. Forehand Draper goes long and it goes wide. And all in between. It is 2-1 for Manarino. Or sorry, it's 2-1 for Draper. But Manarino gets the hold. Hey, here we go. Story of the tiebreak Breakfast Club. Jimmy Van Allen was a wealthy fan tournament director who invented tiebreaks in 1955 and raised a red flag to denote a tiebreak the U.S. Open adopted in 1970, including the red flag. That's really cool. That's crazy. That's a great story. Yeah, it's I remembered that it was quite a few years before they implemented it. This guy was trying to figure out the perfect way to do it where we don't have these long sets every time, and he figured out the tiebreaker. It's like he was concocting it in a factory for a while. Okay, players will change ends every 6 points. We'll play it first to 7, but you have to win by 2 points. That's a cool story, in all seriousness. I wonder what makes Manarino a great player. I've only watched a bit of him. Very talented. And he's, like I said, very misleading from the back of the court. He's actually pretty great from both wings. Very smart player and tactical player. Yeah, exactly. Manarino is one of the most intelligent players on the tour. Tactical gets you so far on the court. Couldn't agree more. Tennis is a physical mind game. It's chess played at 90 miles per hour. The mental side is so important, especially at the top of the game where everybody plays so good. The mental side gets you a long way. And it doesn't really seem like that. That sounds maybe a little bit silly to say, but it's pretty true. I heard about the upcoming live action series Avatar: The Last Airbender. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transition from tennis into talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender and the trailer that came out the other day for the next 3 hours. So, yeah. Okay, let's go. But I can't be more excited about it. I know people are like, the original creators dropped off the project. I'm not excited. I've been excited from the get. I've been excited even after that happened, even though usually I'd be a bit worried, but I was like, listen, I want to see this in live action. With the CGI, I still have a good feeling about it because they've been putting so much effort in it and taking time on it. And also the original creators wrote a couple episodes. Anyway, I am excited. I'm also excited for all the other stuff. I don't know if we've got a lot of Avatar fans in chat, but I'm excited for the Avatar Studios stuff as well coming up. There's so much. Yeah, after the live action Avatar stuff looks crazy. Thank you. And thank you for the Avatar story. Yeah, it's a tiebreaker story is really, really cool. Backhand. Inside out. Manarino leaves it. It goes closer than he thinks it will. There's a challenge from Draper. It was called out. Come on, Draper. Yeah. See what Draper can do at 15 love. I want to know the story of why. I want to hear the story again of why the scoring is the way it is in tennis. It is in. Wow, man. That's like a millimeter in. Manarino just left that shot. It lands in. 30 love. I think the umpire called it out because Manarino left it. Man, it's like, oh, Manarino stopped playing. It's out. First serve hits the tape, goes wide. Second serve. Kick serve, back into Manarino. The back into Draper down the line. It's a good shot from Draper. The back end down the line hasn't been working that great the whole match, but kind of figured that out. And honestly, that's why Manarino won that first set. His mental game was better than Draper's. Tactically, he looked more confident and like he was, he looked smooth as butter. He just looked like he belonged there. He's been there before. And he's been here. Manarino has been in so many finals. Has he been in a single 500 final, or has it been all 250s? Like, so many of the finals he's reached have been 250s, but still, it's not easy. It's not easy to get to 15 challenger finals. Not at all. So, shout out Manarino. Backhand goes wide from Draper, 40-15. By the way, I believe not a single break point for either guy ever since that the first couple games of the match. I'll check to make sure that's true, but I'm nearly sure. Oh, no, okay. Let me see. Or no, of course. Draper broke early here. But other than that, 3-1 for Draper. But aside from the Draper break. But Manarino's serving well there. I wonder how Draper does in clay and grass courts, or I'm curious. Draper is going to be very good on grass courts. I was saying it earlier, Max, I think before you came in. The first time I watched Jack Draper play, I think he was a wild card at Wimbledon, and he played the very first match of the tournament against Jokovic, and he took the first set, 6-4. Draper won the first set of the tournament 6-4 as an 18-year-old. In England, they have more grass courts. They play more constantly on grass courts. And yeah, I think Draper is going to be very good on grass. I don't think he'll be very good on clay, to be honest. But on grass courts, I think he has it down. Love 15 for Draper. First serve in the net. Serve out wide, forehand Draper. The backhand Manarino. Backhand Draper. That goes out 15-all. Draper's got to be more solid on those kind of points. The love 15, love 30 points. He's still figuring out the mental side as Jack. 15-all. He's figuring out the mental and the physical side. And very much so they go hand in hand as well. Mental and physical. Serve here for Manarino. Out wide to the backhand Draper. Forehand Manarino. The forehand to Draper. Forehand Manarino. That's in the net. 15-30. Manarino, a little bit tight on that forehand side. He's been very solid this match, but a few more errors piling up. This is a 250 final in Metz. Draper going for his first title of his career. Manarino going for his 5th title of his career at 35 years old, trying to get a career high ranking. So for both players, something pretty big on the line. First title and a career high ranking. Forehand down the line is massive. Let me tell you when Manarino got that career high ranking that he has of 22 in the world. Because it might be a little bit mind-blowing. I don't know exactly. It might have been last year, actually, but let me check. Yeah. Even longer ago than I thought. Manarino's career high ranking was on March 19th, 2018. March 19th, 2018. Are you joking? That's almost 6 years ago. Well over 5 years ago, his last career high ranking. That's what Manarino is playing for at 35 years old. And Jack is 21, turning 22 next month. So difference in age there as well. Forehand, Manarino. Double break point here for Jack. Great shot. Jack Draper, tough. And he gets it to a 4-1 lead. Draper at 4-1. Let's hope the tide is high for Draper. I think Draper is going to win a major at some point. I kind of think Draper is going to win a major at some point. Andy Murray is the only British winner, I believe, of any Grand Slam tournament since Fred Perry at Wimbledon. Certainly the only winner of Wimbledon since Fred Perry. I'm not sure, but I think that's right. Draper takes another break point. Woohoo! Yeah, that's it. Let's go, Draper. Hour and 23 minutes. By the way, they're playing Happy by Pharrell, which is a song that I don't know. I can't. Pharrell is a genius producer and musician. I just can't stand this song. which I know isn't really a hot take, but it's fine. I just don't like the sound of it either. I mean, not just the lyrics, like the sound of it. It's like it was made for like kids and kids only. Feels like adults shouldn't be listening. It sounds like Kids Bop. And not just the lyrics, just the sound of it. It's just like first serve points 1, 6 for 7 for Jack, 2 for 3, 70. This is in this set. 70% of first serves in. Those aren't just regular first serves. Those aren't Cam Nori first serves. Those are big first serves. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's good for Jack. And then yeah, Manarino not very good on the other side. 6 for 12 on first serve points. For the match, wow, 86% of first serve points won for Jack Draper. That's fantastic. Not that bad for Manarino, but not amazing either necessarily. Draper with his 5th ace, 15 love. Hope you guys are enjoying it, by the way. Anthony here for Quality Shot Tennis. And by the way, if you see the title, we've got 2 matches, 2 finals of the last finals day of the season before the ATP finals. Excited to call it. Umber taking on Shevchenko. Smash, put away. Cross court, 30 love. This is looking like it's going to be a bit of a blowout set for Draper. Third set's going to be interesting. I'm not even sure Manarino is going to put in a lot of strenuous effort to get back into the set. I think it's all about that third set. 30 love. When you think about this tiebreaker, the scoreline makes perfect sense, to be honest, when you think about it. Because Draper, he's a little bit nervous, a little bit tight. He's not as used to these kind of situations in his first final. Loses the tiebreaker, but listen, he's been playing amazing. It's good to see Draper. Yeah, Mike, it's good to see Draper step up in the second set. Yeah, I see Draper stepping up. Yes, true. 30-15. Forehand goes wide from Draper. 30-15. Still serving. By the way, guys, don't forget to like the stream if you're enjoying it. Helps the streams get passed around and just helps out the channel. And hopefully you guys are enjoying it. It's Draper with the serve. Here at 30-15. Serve from Draper. Down the tee. It's the second ace of the game and his 6th ace overall. It's a very good serve to watch. It's a very easy motion. Off the forehand as well. He has a big serve. He's got a big forehand too. Reminds me a little bit of Raonic. Just how, I don't know, how excited I was about both his forehand and his serve. I haven't really felt like that since Raonic. Opelka has a pretty decent ground game to add to a good serve. Shelton has a solid forehand, but Draper, I don't know. There's something about Draper's that I just feel like this is a forehand that I wouldn't be shocked if any other like top 10 or top 15, top 20 player had it with a bit of improvement and consistency, but that's in the net for Manarino, 5-1. There's a reason people are excited about him, especially was back in the day. Hope Draper can stay mentally clutch in this match. That's going to be a big key in that third set. Yeah, Max, true. Yeah, listen, Manarino's been here before. Is Draper going to step up? Listen, we got Umber taking out Shevchenko next. I'm excited for that too. All right, come on. Yeah. Well, listen, Lexi, you should be excited. Draper's leading 5-1. Draper is mad. Yeah, he's got the revenge. I don't think I could return Raonic's powerful serve. Raonic has the most underrated serve of all time. Raonic is also one of the most underrated players of all time. I said what I said, and I know it's a bit of a hot take, but I think Raonic is crazy underrated. And his serve doesn't get brought up. I think he has one of the best serves ever. Not only did the speed come so consistently, first of all, he has my favorite motion ever on the serve. I just love watching him serve, but also just so many aces. And it's so consistent and so powerful and so good. He can do a lot with it too. He can slice it. He can hit it harder. Like I thought, Manarino has checked out a little bit. Love 30. I mean, not like Nick Kyrgios where he just like kind of where he's just walking out the court mid rally. He's like, whatever. But he has checked out a little bit. Good serve out wide, 15-30. It's looking like it's going to be Draper 6-1, if not 6-2. But David reminds me of the young Milos Raonic. Alexia, have you said that to David? Because I think David would laugh. That's a funny comment. 30 all. What do I look like any tennis player? It would be hard for me, right? Because tennis players don't really wear glasses. I guess Istomin or Tipsarevic. I could see a kind of Istomin resemblance with me. I don't know if I look like a tennis player, but I'm trying to think. I was trying to think of one of the better looking ones just to joke around, but 40-30. Lexi ate fish and chips for Draper. Good luck. Or for an English breakfast. Yeah. When's the last time a British man won a title? I've got a couple of questions. When's the first time a British man won a title? And when's the last time that that a left-handed player won a title? And the last time that two left-handed players were in the final of a tournament. Big forehand from Manarino. Gets to 5-2 at least. Max, I left so he won't be nervous when I cheer for him. Jinxing him a bit. Having chicken nuggets my specialty. That sounds good. I'd take some right now. I'd take some even though for me it's 9:39 in the morning. I woke up at 8 to call this. Actually, I woke up at 7, which isn't particularly early, but I'm a bit of a late bird. I like sleeping in. Maybe Marinero is saving his energy for third set. Yeah, for sure, Lexi is. I would watch out for Manarino in this third set. I said Draper in 3 sets before the match started. That's the first time I'm calling Jack Draper match. Hopefully not the last, because I am a fan of the guy. I don't know. What are some other players I have not called yet? I didn't get a chance to call Federer on the channel, which I will be forever regretting. I never commentated a Federer match. If Federer plays an exhibition one day, though, listen, we'll be there. We'll be there for Federer exhibition. Doesn't matter. It's not a real match. Federer Alcaraz exhibition, Federer Sinner exhibition. We'll be there. I'm sure we'd want to be there. I'm sure Faison would want to do the first Federer exhibition. So we'll be there. Last time a British player won a singles title in ATP, I'm trying to think. Actually, I know the answer, Max. It was Dan Evans at Washington. It was Dan Evans at Washington this year. I was just thinking about it. How exciting of a moment is that? Dan Evans winning an ATP 500 title in ecstatic fashion. Listen, I love that. That was one of my favorite moments this year. Dan Evans winning a 500. Because the guy is so up and down, but when he's good, he's so good. And he's so random. Dan Evans is so random. He's so up and down. He's just always, he's always like shouting, come on, in people's faces. But like his game is like so old fashioned. Like Dan Evans is so random. He's usually like between 20 or 30 in the world. He's so random, but I love that. I love that he won a 500 earlier in the year. If you're looking at like the list of ATP 500 winners this year, there was a cool graph of all the title champions this year. Big forehand down the line is a winner from Draper, 30 love, 2 points away from making this 3 sets. This had 3 sets written on it, I think. But yeah, Evans definitely stood out as an ATP 500 winner, but he was the last British winner. Anthony almost said Marinero. I did. And I almost said it. I almost mentioned that I did, but I didn't want to bring it more attention to it. Forehand into forehand to Draper. Forehand. Oh, what a pass from Jack. That's the skill that I'm talking about. Talking about skill. That's skill. That's a bit of skill. British lefty. That's a better question. I don't have all the answers, Lexi. Don't have all the answers. And Dan Evans, yeah. Norrie surely is most recent. And Murray did also one list here. But Norrie's been a bit trash since Indian Wells. He's not been at his right level. Manarino into the net, 6-2. Norrie has not really found the right level since Indian Wells. He won in Rio. I think Rio was his last title. I think it was Rio against Alcaraz. But Dan Evans in Washington. So, yeah, and Dan Evans, yeah. Hope you're right, Anthony. Yeah, we'll see. Imagine Federer and Carlos playing in a match, both of them in their early 20s. I mean, my mind blows. Maybe the two best shot makers we've ever seen play tennis. Federer versus Alcaraz. Aggressive game, touch game, all the variety, all the shots, all the trick shots at such an amazing peak level. I mean, can you imagine it? That would be incredible. Any surface as well. that would be ecstasy. That would be tennis ecstasy. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see that, but Alcaraz taking on Federer when Alcaraz is at his peak, maybe at 23, 24. Federer's I think he wants to have another surgery done on his knee or whatever it is to get the knee right, to get a little bit of practice and warm up. I think in about 3-4 years, maybe Federer Alcaraz will play an exhibition. I would be surprised if not. Draper, come on. Yeah, he takes a set. Draper, yeah, Draper got it. Draper, all right, let me know, guys. What do you think is going to be the third set score? I go Draper 6. I say Draper 6-4. Draper 6-4. That's my prediction. I'm excited. I'm excited for this third set. British lefty, I don't know. British lefty would be very hard for me to figure out. Who is a British lefty player? Murray is right-handed. I'm pretty sure about that. Tim Henman was right-handed. Who was a lefty? I'll go Draper 6-4 as well in the third set. Okay. Great minds, great minds. I wish Carlos didn't struggle with injuries. Yeah, I agree. It kind of comes with the territory, though, his physical game style. Just hopefully it's not a big issue. If you could say one good thing, mostly those injuries have come towards the end of seasons. So hopefully that, if anything, that's the case. But yeah, a bit tough. We'll see. Draper 7-5. Okay. We're seeing all Drapers, though. Early on, I saw Manarinos. We're seeing a lot of Drapers. Rusetsky was left-handed. Okay. So last title that Rusetsky won. He might have been the last one. When's the last title Rusetsky won? That's like 2000s. 2005 Newport. That's sad. It's sad that Newport is leaving. ATP should not be dropping Newport. Newport's been around for over 100 years. Historic tournament, played at the Hall of Fame. How many grass tournaments are there out there? If we're changing around the schedule, I'm gonna vouch for Newport more than I'm gonna vouch for Atlanta. Newport should be staying. I don't like ATP taking out Newport. That's a bad call from the ATP, in my opinion, because there's so little grass courts. We need to be making the grass court swing longer, not shortening it. And Newport always shows up with great grass. They always have fun finals, fun matches. Forehand, backhand, Manarino put away 15-all. We're getting good level from both guys now. Both guys are going to bring it for the set. Contrast of styles, contrast of just about everything, except for that they're both lefties. And that they both have won 4 matches in this tournament. Is it 4 or 3? I believe 4, right? Backhand to the forehand, Manarino. Backhand Draper. The forehand to Manarino. Cross court, forehand to Draper. Backhand Manarino. The backhand to Draper. Backhand Manarino across court. Backhand slice Draper. Forehand to Manarino. Cross court to the forehand to Draper. That goes wide, 30-15. Draper not quite consistent enough yet from the back of the court. He looks very good from the back, but Manarino is just so solid. Yeah, Draper has won 4 matches so far in this tournament against Martyrer, and then he beat Musetti in the second round, 7-5, 6-2, and then Ilkel in his first quarterfinal, 6-2, 6-2, and then he beat Jan-Lennart Struff 6-3, 6-4 very impressively. Hasn't dropped a set yet until this match where he lost the first set to Manarino in a close tiebreak. Draper goes for a massive return, but I think it's just out. There's a challenge. It is out. 40-15. Serve, the backhand of Draper, backhand Manarino, the forehand of Draper, forehand Manarino, the backhand of Jack, backhand Adrian, the backhand slice of Jack Draper, backhand Manarino, the backhand of Draper, backhand Manarino, the backhand of Draper, backhand Manarino, the backhand of Draper, backhand rally, backhand back to that deuce side. We're staying on the deuce side. We're living there. They're trying to set up a home there. We're on the deuce side. Now their guy going down the line, And it's in the net from Draper, 1-0. Both guys just settling on the deuce side, and it's Draper who's more comfortable there, just going cross court with the backhands. Manarino has a great backhand, or he has a good backhand. It doesn't look like it would be necessarily, but he has a good backhand. I always confuse Manarino and Nori. Manarino and Nori are both so random, and they're both like they're both so unique except for each other. Like Manarino and Nori, their games look similar, their names are similar. Manarino and Nori, I always mix the two up, and I don't like it. They're eerily similar to me. And they're so weird, both of them. But to each other, they're very similar, which I don't like. Newport Beach in the East Coast, I think. Yeah. Newport Beach is in California. I got that wrong. Newport. Oh, yeah. Newport. Yeah, Newport's in Cali. Forehand to the backhand of Draper. Backhand Manarino. Backhand slice of Draper. Forehand. The forehand of Draper. I'm getting a lot of baseline rallies here. Backhand. Neither a guy really coming to net very much either. Forehand. Cross court with the forehand of Draper. Backhand. Lung busting rallies. Draper's got to play more aggressive. This isn't really a style play, and he misses that shot. Left 15. Why is Draper letting Manarino have the control? Manarino wants to play like this. He wants to grind. He wants to rally, and Draper's not stepping up and taking his chances. Draper's got to find the confidence and got to find that mental grit to really go for it. Listen, if you lose a final, you want to lose on your terms, right? You don't want to lose playing your opponent's game. It's left 15. Draper can't be playing Manarino's game. Hope Draper can stay clutch to win the games of his serve of the third set. Yeah, that's going to be key. True. Draper's going to have to prevail for the break point in the set. Yeah. Manarino with a crazy return of serve, by the way, there. Serve and Manarino with an absolute perfection return forehand. If you don't think Manarino has a good forehand, then watch that because pretty solid. Especially when he's forced to have a big swing on the forehand. He can have a big swing on it. Feels like he's just tapering that shot, just bunting it. But when it feels like he's just loading that shot up, but then later in the rally, he can hit a big one. 15-30. By the way, guys, so the Umber versus Shevchenko match, that will start in 40 minutes time. So there might be overlap. This might be a little bit of a double header for a bit if this match does keep going. Bit of a long match here. It's in the ground for Manarino. 30-all. It's the long match too because Draper is letting Manarino have these long rallies rather than taking his own chances. 30-all. But yeah, if you see the title, the thumbnail, I've said before, but we'll all be covering that one. The Umber versus Shevchenko in Metz at the conclusion of this one. Or whenever that one starts up. First serve's Alette. Second serve here from Jack. Backhand Draper. The forehand of Manarino. Backhand Draper. The backhand of Manarino. Backhand. Okay, to that forehand, Draper needs to get the backhand to the forehand more. It's all backhand to the backhand side. Forehand. Whip. Big into the forehand. Draper running forehand. Way up high on the defense. That's a great forehand. Pretty much right off the rise. Oh, great get. It's a tweener for Manarino. No way. Oh, that goes out. Wow, what a rally. That was a good play from Draper there. Manarino, that was an awkward shot. Great get from Draper there. Fully stretched out on the forehand. Draper doesn't find the positioning way too early. Like he was just like, I want to hit between the leg shot. That was a big point. He got too excited to hit the tweener because he was way out of positioning. He could have positioned himself way better for that. It was Draper with the, that wasn't an amazing shot from Manarino. That was an amazing shot from Draper at the forehand. It was a cool attempt though. Manarino isn't scared of a between the leg shot. Serve here coming from Jack. Down the tee, backhand, way up high. The forehand of Draper, out wide, or inside out. So it's deuce. Or sorry, it's one game apiece. One game apiece. Jack gets the hold. One game apiece. Jack gets the hold. I do think Jack is one of these young guys that deserves to be put in the conversation with an Alcaraz, with a. I mean, maybe not at that level, but he deserves to be in the next gen conversation. He deserves to be one of these guys that's labeled up. Not everybody is an Alcaraz who can win 2 majors already, but he deserves to be there. Because least of all which is his win percentage in his very early career so far, especially if you count in challenger matches. If you count in challenger matches, it's probably over 70%, if not over 75 if you count challengers. But at ATP, it's pretty good as well. I believe it's like 65 or over 65, which is very good. Like Milos Raonic, for example, he had a bit higher, but who was it? Somebody had 65. Like Berdych, for example, he had 65% win percentage throughout his career. So that's very high, just so far. Backhand to the backhand of Draper. Backhand, the backhand Draper, going to that forehand more at the backhand, which is what he needs to do. Backhand to the forehand of Manarino. Backhand Draper goes back to that forehand, but it's not a good shot there. Listen, Draper needs to find the right kind of plays which are high percentage enough. He's going too low percentage with some of these. Because I was saying Draper needs to hit that backhand into that forehand side, but he was way out on the run, so there's no way he was going to be able to do that from that position. He's got to figure out the shot selection still. Adrian will win this match. Informatic Edge. All right. We'll see. I like the name, Informatic Edge. Glad for you to be joining in. We'll see what Adrian can do. Serve out wide, forehand Draper. Adrian with the more experience. Backhand, cross court to the backhand of Draper. Backhand Manarino. The forehand of Draper. Draper's got to be physically there, though. Draper's got to be physically there. He can't run out of gas. The mental side can play in with the physical, too. If he starts getting nervous, he might start cramping. Better chance. We'll see. We're about 35 minutes out from Umber taking out Shevchenko, by the way. Should be a pretty smooth transition into that one, for sure. Backhand Draper. The backhand Manarino. Backhand slice Draper. The forehand of Manarino. Forehand Draper. The backhand of Manarino. Backhand Draper. Oh! Absolute beauty from Jack Draper. That's what I'm talking about. Both wings very good. If you're just saying Draper's all serve, no. Beauty of a shot. There's a challenge, but it was out. It caught the line, but it was a millimeter out from the sideline. Oh, I thought he made it. To me, that was the shot of the match if he made it. He missed it by like 2 millimeters. 40 love for Manarino. Serve into the net. Second serve here from Adrian. Forehand to Draper. Goes for it down the line. It's wide, though. 2-1. Love hold for the Frenchman. Love hold for the Frenchman. Did you see pictures of Carlos and Sinner hanging out for a Nike event with the fans? I know you would like to be there, Anthony, for Sinner. Yeah, that would have been cool. I saw the photos. I want to see them play a match, though. I want to see Sinner Alcaraz match. To get to, like, interview Sinner Alcaraz, that's one of my, like, big dreams. That would be amazing for me. If that will, like, that's a dream for me. But yeah, that would be cool. I want to see a Sinner Alcaraz match. I'm excited for them to play a match against each other. It's very cool that they're friends, though, this early on. I love everything they're bringing, both of them, to the sport. It's amazing. They both bring something very different, but I love what both are bringing. And it's something necessary. Runa is cool, too. He's bringing his own thing. A little bit more spice involved, but he's doing his own thing. I think this next era is going to be amazing, honestly. And it's defined to me by the Sinner Alcaraz rivalry. I think next year, like the US Open match, we could get an all-timer. If we get Sinner Alcaraz in a major and Alcaraz with the motivations of saying, hey, I'm in this head-to-head too. My name is Carlos Alcaraz, and you've seen how good I can be. Shan't you forget? If Alcaraz steps up in the rivalry of Sinner Alcaraz, by the way, they're showing the ridiculous Manarino tweener, and I'm not saying because it was good, but listen, I'm all for hitting the tweener when it's a good shot, but like that was not the right time to hit a tweener. It was way too he was way too eager to hit that tweener, but in my opinion is a bit of a show and tell. Maybe Draper I don't know. Manarino's already won 2 titles this year. Draper's yet to win a title. Draper is going to be all in for this. We'll see. Carlos and Sinner is definitely an epic rivalry. Yeah, and I love that everybody seems to be enjoying it. I'm quite happy about it. Sinner Alcaraz bring amazing level from each other. Such fresh tennis. I love it. Love it, love it. And they're just so talented, both of them. I'm excited. I'm excited about the future of tennis. Sinner Alcaraz rivalry is my favorite thing going on in tennis at the moment. Jokovic Alcaraz rivalry at this moment in time is pretty high up there as well. But Sinner Alcaraz is probably number one. I'm a huge fan of Sinner Alcaraz rivalry. I'm a fan of both those guys, and I'm a fan of the rivalry. 8th ace for Draper. 15 love. Serve down the tee, back into the net for Manarino. 30 love. 30 love. Whose player highest winning chance in the end? Ooh, that's a good question though. I mean, like, it's so even. It's so even. My bet's on Jack. My bet's on Draper. But I think a lot of people would tell you Manarino. Like, I think most people, if they were telling you the winning chance, would tell you Manarino. But I would say Draper. I think Draper has been playing such high level this week. I don't know. Manarino has been in more finals. He's won more titles. Also, he looks like he's been the smarter player so far. Draper's also had physical issues. There's in his career. So in a nervy match like this, you just never really know for sure. Maybe he starts cramping or something. So I really don't know what to tell you. I'd say Draper, but I'm not saying that confidently. It's basically my answer. Backhand Draper, the backhand of into the forehand of Manarino, forehand Draper, the forehand of Manarino. That's in the net. 40-15. I'm trying to think. When's the last time that we've had an all left-handed final? Last time that we've had an all left-handed player final. Can anybody tell me in the chat if you remember one? Last all left-handed final. We haven't even had many of those with Rafa in major finals, for example. I don't know if Rafa ever played a left-handed player in a major. Hey, what's up, Ashley? Good to have you in here. We have finals day. If you saw the thumbnail, we're doing 2 finals, like Umber versus Shevchenko matches happening in exactly 30 minutes time, right here. Don't have to go anywhere. We'll be right here. I'll be commentating that. Yeah, excited for it. Forehand goes out, 40-30. 40-30. But yeah, last all left-handed final. I can't even think of what it would be. Well, I'll look this up. I'll look up Rafa. And Cameron Norrie. Those have been 2 of the better left-handed players. I'll look up their last finals to see the last time they both of them played a left-handed player. Because this is an all-lefty final. You don't usually see that. 40-30. Half a chance for Manarino, but it's dead and gone with another 9th ace from Draper. 2-2. Okay, so Nadal. Okay, Nadal played against. There you go. There's the answer. Rafa played against Cameron Norrie at where's that? Acapulco final. I remember that. Acapulco final. Before that, the last time Rafa played a lefty in a final, I can't see a single one on here. Tsitsipas, Zverev, Nishikori, Federer, Kyrgios, Anderson, Wawrinka, Team, Ramos Vinolas. Is Ramos Vinolas? He's lefty, right? I think Ramos Vinolas is lefty. Is Ramos Vinolas lefty? I can't really remember for some reason. It's been a while since I've seen him play. Yeah, left-handed. Yeah, Ramos Vinolas is left-handed. But he played against Ramos Vinolas in 2017 final Monte Carlo. So before Norrie, a long while before the final against Norrie. But okay, so that might be the last one. Acapulco final last year, Nadal taking on Norrie. It certainly doesn't happen a lot in ATP final with 2 lefties. Maybe Shapovalov against somebody, but I can't really think of. He hasn't been to many finals recently, so. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Backhand Nori, the backhand slice of Draper. Backhand Nori, the backhand of Draper. Backhand Nori. Okay, no, so I see another one here as well. By the way, just on this left-handed thing. Molchan, Alex Molchan, who's a great player, very flashy lefty player. He played against Cam Nori and Leon last year. So maybe that. So far, that's the match. The last final with all lefty. Leon between Molchan and Nori. And then I'll just look at Manarino's finals, then I'll be done with it. See if he played a lefty player this year. I don't think he has. Hugo Umber, he hasn't been in a final up until today, since 2021. Alex Mickelson, I believe he's right-handed, right? Mickelson played against Manarino this year. By the way, love hold for Manarino with an ace, 3-2. I'm going to look it up. I'm pretty sure Alex Mickelson is right-handed. And then also, yeah, Mickelson is right-handed. Eubanks is also right-handed. Yeah, Christopher Eubanks is right-handed. He played against Manarino this year. Yeah, so far, May last year. That's the last all left-handed final, as far as I can tell. Doesn't happen often. It's up, Robert. Good morning, Robert. Yeah, good to have you in here, Ashley. Good to have you. We got finals day. Last finals day of 2023 before the ATP finals. That's what we're branding this. The final finals day before the finals. 2023 finals. Draper win this match? I think so, Anand. I think so. 3-2. By the way, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Quality Shot Tennis if you're enjoying it. We got finals day. We got the big events as well. Next year, we're going to kill it next year. Listen, next year is going to go crazy, to be honest. Next year is going to be that year. Next year is going to go crazy. So make sure to subscribe. We got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm excited for this week's Tennis 360 podcast on this channel as well. We do a podcast on here. Next week is going to be really fun. We got hopefully an interview scheduled out. We'll see what happens, but hopefully we've got an interview scheduled out. So hopefully that can happen. And I'm excited about it. But yeah, we got more podcasts. We got more streams. We got Turin coming next week. That's going to be fun. We got Sinner Jokovic there as a match for sure. Alcaraz Rublev for the first time in their careers. And then, yeah, whatever happens at the end of that tournament. Sinner Alcaraz Djokovic, more Djokovic, Sinner, Djokovic, Rublev, whatever happens. 15 love here for Draper, who is going to rock. If you mean who's going to win, then I think Draper. But I think a lot of people tell you Manarino has the better odds, especially having been to 15 of these. I need to keep up watching Tennis 360 podcast. Hell yeah. Tennis 360. We're keeping it fresh with all things tennis and all things podcasting in tennis. We're bringing a genuine, just fun outlook to tennis. We have a weekly power rankings, looking over stuff. It's fun. Me and Eliza. It's great. And listen, I can't tell you everything about women's tennis and stuff and how women's tennis should be run. I'm not going to sit here and say all that stuff. But Eliza, she talks a lot about like a lot of stuff about that. I feel passionate about that and about the women's game. I also feel passionate about the ATP. We talk about a lot of stuff. So it's definitely a cool podcast. It's fun. But yeah, that's right here on this channel. Under not under the live section for the streams, but under the video section. Serve out wide is a let. It's a let. So it'll be another serve from the Brit. First serve, top the net, second serve. Serve into the backhand of Draper. Backhand Manarino. The forehand of Draper. Forehand Manarino. The forehand of Draper. Backhand Manarino. Now the backhand of Draper. That goes out, 30 all. Be careful. Be careful, Jack, because you're stepping over a minefield. We got 30 all. We got 30 all. Jack's got to have a couple free first serves here. Got a couple free first serves. 30 all. Two, three. This is Draper's first final of his career. It's another tight first serve. We saw that at the end of the first set. Not a great first serve. Second serve might be getting a little bit tight. Big yell and come on from Jack. 40-30. It's so hard watching players I like. You know what I mean? It's so hard watching players I like play. Players who I cheer for. What's Eliza's background in tennis? Did she play at a high level? It's a good question. Eliza would be better at answering it. I'll say after this point what I know. Backhand. The backhand of Draper, forehand Manarino. The backhand Draper on the slide for a pass. Forehand Manarino. That's a beautiful forehand drop volley. Guess what? We're going deuce. We got deuce all tied up in this game. Manarino's sick and tough with it. Eliza, I don't think she played at a super high level. As far as I know, she started really playing tennis and taking lessons consistently over the last 3 or 4 years. She posts her improvement on Instagram, which I think is awesome. Just constantly taking lessons, improving. It's great for, I think, young players to see the, like, you know what I mean? Like that at the start, it's not always easy, but to see that constant improvement, constant growth. Eliza, I'm not entirely sure about her background. I'd love to ask her herself, but I know she's been a fan of the sport for a long, long time. She's a fan of some other sports as well. But she's just a long-time fan, but she really started playing tennis, I think, just 3 or 4 years ago, taking lessons. So not very, not a high level in the past, as opposed to me, where I started playing tennis when I was like 5 or 6. So because my dad's a tennis coach and I used to play junior tournaments. So I'm a bit different, but big forehand from Adrian Manarino. And he gets the break. Manarino with the first, with the strike in the set. Draper's going to have to break Manarino. Draper has not broken Manarino since the second game of this match when he broke him back. Manarino broke Draper in the first game of this match. Or Manarino broke Draper in the first game of this match and Draper broke him right back. Draper has not broken since then. 4-2 for Manarino. Manarino is just an unstoppable force in finals. He's just an unstoppable force in 250 finals. He's an unstoppable force who must be stopped. Serve coming here from Manarino. Let me see. I want to see what Manarino's breakdown of tournaments are in terms of 250s, 500s in his finals. So yeah, Manarino has been to, this is his 14th ATP 250 final, Manarino. He's been to one 500 final and he lost it on the hard courts of Tokyo, surprisingly. Not Halle, not Queens. Grass courts are his strongest surface. Draper, very awkward shot. Can't figure out whether it's hit a forehand or backhand. He's back neutral miraculously. Forehand, the backhand of Manarino. Backhand Draper. I feel like he's got to step up in this game. 5-3. Coming back from 5-3 in your first final. Knowing Draper, that's going to be tough. He wants to break back this game. Like in that first set, break right back. Backhand cross court to the backhand. A Draper, backhand in the net. 15 love for Manarino. Manarino is an unstoppable force, is Adrian. Earlier, you said Draper going to rock. What are you going to say now? What you want to say now? Yeah, it might. I don't know. I did say, though, that it's just so close. I've said it's very close for me. It's a very tough call. And I said that a lot of people would say Manarino. I still feel like Draper might come back here. I'm not. If you're betting, though, definitely do Manarino, because at this point, Manarino's got the lead. And that's not a particularly safe bet, especially Draper playing in his first final. That's a backhand slice into the net. The nerves are playing a factor. Now Manarino is definitely the favorite. Oh no, Draper, yeah. Come on, Draper. Yeah. Let's see. Let's get a comeback here. That's cool. It's good to see people get into tennis a bit later. It's a great sport. Yeah, I think that's a bit more Eliza's kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lifelong game whenever you get into it. Anthony type A Hirsch, David type B phase on type chill. There you go. That's good. That's good. I like it. I've been called hyper ever since I was a kid. I mean, I'm pretty quiet a lot of the time, but when I got on here, yeah, I got that part of me. I'm definitely passionate. Quite. Back end, the back end of Draper, back end into Manarino, the back end of Draper, back end Manarino, the back end slice of Draper, forehand Manarino, the forehand of Draper, the forehand of Manarino, back end Draper, the forehand of Manarino, the forehand of Draper, back end Manarino, long rally here, forehand Draper. I love to see Draper trying something though. Forehand cross court. What a shot. Is that in? Or is that out? That is in. What a shot from Jack. The crowd likes it too. 35, 30-15. There's a challenge coming, but it was a hell of a shot if it's in. Hell of a swing there. It is. That's what Jack Draper can do. It's 30-15. Let's see if he can fight back here. He's still in this game. He's still in this game. I am quite compelled by this match at the moment. Does Draper want this bad enough to serve from Manarino? Wow, hell of a serve. Draper, Manarino standing pretty much at the doubles alley to serve, and he bluffs Draper and goes down the line. 5th ace of the match. Draper expecting a lefty wide serve. Manarino just right back to work, steps back. His box likes it too, 45. 40-15. First serve goes wide, second serve. Kick serve, Draper steps around the backhand, hits a huge forehand. An ace return. No racket on that shot from Manarino. Can we start that? An ace return? If you hit a return and it doesn't, the opponent doesn't get a racket on it. Ace return. Is that stupid? I probably got too confused with ace. A return ace. I don't know. 40-30 for Manarino. Big moment here. Is Draper aggressive enough? No, Mike. Draper needs to be more aggressive. Absolutely. He was on that return, though. Draper's playing Manarino's game. I said it earlier in this match. Draper's playing Manarino's game. He's rallying too much from the back. And I think it's a thing of confidence, if I'd have to guess. I think of the mental side. He started going a little bit more not playing into Manarino's game, not just hitting cross court, just rallying backhand to backhand, going a little bit more for riskier shots. That's what he needs to do more of. That was a chance on the forehand return. It was a weak second serve, but he doesn't really take it. Just spins it in pretty short. It's 5-2 for Manarino. Draper's going to have a big comeback here in his first final. Manarino's coming. Adrian Manarino's coming. Do you think there's a country where tennis is the top sport? Someone asked that in Tennis Reddit. That is a really interesting question. I'll think about it. Oh, no, back. Yeah, Alexi, it's tough. MJ back to the gym and back to the stream. Okay, nice. Glad to have you listening in. Yeah, it's 5-2 for Draper. I got to keep my eye on the time, though, because, listen, Umber versus Shevchenko is coming on in less than 15 minutes, so I'm going to be covering that one as well. Umber Shevchenko, stick around for that one. That's the Mets Open final. That's coming on right after this, or at the same time, if this one goes on a little bit longer. Is there a country where tennis is the top sport? It's a good question. I honestly don't know the answer. I'd have to think about it. It's a good question, though. I'm back now. Gene, nice. I don't have the answer for you, but it's a good question. Don't care about these players, to be honest. That's fair, MJ. I'm a fan of Jack Draper. I do like watching Manarino as well. I like players who are just super random, and Manarino is talented. So it's a bit chaotic of a player. I don't think so. It's more popular in some places, but soccer teams seem to reign as rugby. Yeah, like in Australia, tennis, I think, is pretty popular, but I mean, cricket is huge. It's absolutely massive outside of the States. So I don't know. I don't know if there is. There probably is, but I'm not sure any of the biggest countries. because soccer is just so popular. Even among people who play tennis, soccer is just so popular. Or football, really football, English football. When Rafa's back next year, I'll be on more. Okay, fair enough. I still haven't called a Rafa match. I'm excited for that next year. He's the kind of highest ranked guy I haven't called a match for. So I'm excited. He's the kind of guy left who, because when I joined in, he was already out for the season. So forehand cross court to the forehand of Draper. Forehand Manarino, cross court to the forehand of Draper. Forehand Manarino. The backhand of Jack. The backhand of Manarino. Backhand Jack. Down the line. That's too good. He's got to at least hold here, give himself a chance for 5-3. 15 love. I don't think he's out of the match yet. Still a chance. A small chance, but a chance. It's okay, Draper. Why? Yeah. Would be a miracle if Draper can come back to 5-5. I wouldn't say a miracle, but it's definitely a very tough task. It takes a lot for me to say that a player won't be able to come back, because I've seen it too many times happen in tennis. It's a big ask though. Sad to see Draper retiring. Yeah, he retired a couple times in matches. He's not retiring here though. It's 30 love. Serve out wide. That goes long. Second serve here from Jack. Serve. The forehand. Manarino. Forehand. Jack. Ooh, what a forehand. I don't even know how he did that. Wizardry from the racket of Draper. 40 love. That's the kind of shot that can give him confidence off the back of the court going into this next game. Let's get another replay on this. Draper a little bit on the back foot, but still just a beautiful kind of buggy whip, or not buggy whip, but just spins that. Love hold. That's the kind of confident hold he needed to get into the 5-3 game. 10th ace for Jack Draper. 10 aces. 5-3. 10 aces isn't shabby. (5-3). Manarino trying to hold here for the title. We are 10 minutes away from Umber taking on Shevchenko as well. That will be on next. We're marathoning it. We're marathoning it a little bit, which is fun. Always fun. Serve here from Adrian. Coming. The finals day of 2023 before Turin. Forehand, inside in. Draper gets it though. Ooh, what a shot. Jack wants this bad, and it's love 15. What'd I say? It's not a miracle. He can still do it. It's love 15. Jack wants this bad, and it showed with that shot. How did he do that? Barely crossed the net. He looked like he was miles away from the shot. That's what when you're taller, obviously the speed you take down a few points on speed, but the reach, you have big reach and you got big legs to move across the court. That helped there. It looked like he was a mile away from the shot. He took like two steps. He was already there and just swung at it. Made it. Love 15. That was a miracle shot. Wow. Manarino again bluffs out Draper. Gets a sixth ace of the match. Instead of going for lefty wide, he goes down the line. It's 15 all. Manarino, one of the smartest players on the tour. We were saying it earlier. Let me catch up with chat a little bit. A lot of people in chat. I love it. Backhand. I like Rublev and Sinner. Yeah, Rublev and Sinner are two of my favorites. I'll be honest. Compared to 10 years ago, I don't have as many big favorites at the moment as I do now. Jannik Sinner stands alone as I always super cheer for him when I watch him. Draper is a favorite. Korda is a favorite. Fritz is a favorite. Casper is a favorite. Alcaraz is a favorite. Andy Murray is always a favorite. So there are some guys I do like, but yeah, compared to 10 years ago, I don't have as many faves playing. Sinner is a big one though. Sinner is the guy that I'm kind of, I do like Sinner, to be honest. Are we rooting for Umber? I know I am. Umber is going to be tough to beat. Talented French player. It would be great to see him get a title. He deserves it for the season he's had. So Forehand, backhand Draper into the backhand Manarino. Backhand slice Draper. The forehand of Manarino. Forehand Draper. Down the line. Who said it's a miracle? Draper said no. 15-40. That's tennis. That's tennis. Draper's in his first final. Manarino's in his 15th. Guess what? That means two things. It means Manarino has more experience. Guess what? That also means Draper is hungrier. Draper, this is the first time he's been here. He's like, okay, I've been checking out the scenery. I want my first final. By the way, if this does go for 5 more minutes, we're going to have to do a doubleheader. Umber, Shevchenko, and also Manarino, Draper. At the start of Umber, Shevchenko, no offense to the Frenchman. You go Umber, no offense to Shevchenko. But more of the weight is definitely going to be on this match. But while this match is still going, because we put so much effort into this, into watching it, into the call. Can't think of the word. I feel so sad for Draper. Not out yet, though. Gotta have faith, like George Michael song. Nice, nice, nice. There's none max tennis like the third, at least. Yeah. I can't think of a country like that. Backhand cross court, backhand Draper. That's a great shot. The athleticism for Draper is actually paying dividends. Forehand Draper now. The backhand Manarino, giant point for the career of Jack Draper. Backhand cross court, backhand Draper. Down the line, it's in the net. Deuce, Manarino's 2 points away. By the way, guys, don't forget to subscribe Quality Shot Tennis if you're new. We got more streams coming as well. I become type A every time Rafa plays. It's the hype man. Don't forget to subscribe Quality Shot Tennis. We got another match coming on after this. Umber Shevchenko right on after this. And also, we got Turin ATP Finals coming on next week. Join in for that. So hoping to do it like Shelton. Yeah, it was nice to see Shelton win the first title in Tokyo. Yeah, he was on a great run up until the last event, and he's not playing next gen finals. We'll see what happens to that. Time violation for Adrian Manarino in a big moment. Manarino doing the Tsitsipas thing, just playing through it. He's already at the line to serve. Second serve. No fuss. No, nothing about it. Tsitsipas will be called a time violation and then literally serve while the umpire is still speaking. Forehand Manarino. The backhand of Draper. Backhand Manarino. The backhand of Draper. Backhand Manarino. The backhand of Draper. Draper still got to take his chances. That's what's worked for him even in this game. Forehand Draper. That's big cross court. There you go. Come on, step in. He goes for it. I'm glad he went for it, though, but he missed it wide. Draper's disappointed, but that's what he's got to do, though. It's an advantage for Manarino. Manarino has championship point. Manarino with the championship point. Don't forget to like. That's it, guys. Don't forget to like the stream if you're enjoying it. This isn't the last match, though. Stream doesn't end after this. Right here, we got the next match, Umber Shevchenko. That starts in about 5 minutes. So, greetings from Great Britain. Hey, nice to have you in here, Tom. Appreciate it. Familiar name to the stream as well. I already told Adrian will win. Check upper comments when Adrian lost. Second side easily. I remember that. Informatic edge. Backhand. The backhand of Draper. Backhand Manarino is playing for the title. What an angle cross court. Backhand slice. That somehow stays in for Draper. Cross court. Goes for a forehand down the line. It just misses. Great rally. And Manarino gets his career high ranking for the first time in over 5.5 years at 35 years of age. He is 21st in the world. He gets the Sofia Open title. He gets his 3rd title of the season. And guess what? In terms of titles for the year, he's only behind Jokovic, Alcaraz, Medvedev, and Sinner. He's only behind those 4 guys. He's actually tied with Sebastian Baez and Draper has his head in his hands a bit. Shout out Draper. He probably should have won the first set tiebreaker as well. Very close, but he just didn't have enough. He led 5-4 in that first set tiebreaker. He had chances in that 3rd set. Yeah, I appreciate Manor. There can be miracles when you believe, just not this time. Manor giving up on it. There you go. Hey, what's up, Frank? Easy Manarino. Frank, our goat, Manarino. Manarino, go. GG Manarino. Well done, Draper. It's okay. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We got the Umber versus Shevchenko. That starts very soon. That starts very soon. Is Umber the favorite? Yes, he is. Big favorite. Big favorite. Umber has had a really good season. Umber is 3-0 in finals. So Umber is the big favorite against Shevchenko, who's the young Russian guy, actually pretty underrated. Shevchenko should be known more. He's done well recently. Shevchenko took out Fritz and Wawrinka in Basel. Got a point away from taking out a high-level Felix Auger-Aliassime in Basel as well. So Shevchenko's been in good form. Good for Manarino, yeah. Manarino saw it. Manarino is just like, Manarino's the silent killer. Doesn't really grunt. Just playing out there at 35. Slice, crafty, hitting lefty wide serves, then just bluffing with a down the line. Just hitting the short swings, short runs across the court, just short movements. Everything is just so dialed down, dialed back. It's very minimized. Congrats, Manarino. Yeah. Hugo, you're Hugo. Yeah. We'll see what Hugo can do. Lexi, ha ha ha. Yeah. I know you're ruined, Draper. Bald is beautiful. Congrats, Adrian. 5th title of his career. So yeah, great win for Manarino, who just keeps winning. 21st career high ranking. Guess what? Next matchup, Umber taking on Shevchenko. And Manarino is now the highest ranked Frenchman in the world. Umber will be playing for the highest ranked Frenchman in this next final. If Umber wins, he's 20th in the world. If he doesn't, then Manarino is the year-end #1 French player. So that's what's on the line. Manarino got his third title. Umber going for his first of the season. Has Draper won a title? Nope. That was his first ATP final period. ATP final period. Bald and bankrupt. Yeah. There is a bit of a similarity there. Anthony Fantano, bald and bankrupt. Sean Evans, a few guys. From the YouTube scene. I think they did a thing together too on YouTube. Anyway. Bald and bankrupt. Anthony, who you picking to win the ATP finals? Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to take a break off here for about 3 minutes. 3 minutes, give or take. I'll be back, and then I'll tell you some of my picks going to the ATP finals before this next match starts up. So, yeah, let me get the scoreboard on the screen for the next one before I go off, though. Let me do this real quick. All right, Umber taking out Shevchenko. This one's going to be good, too. I wouldn't want to miss this one. I was arguably like almost more excited for the Draper match, to be honest. Two lefty guys, contrast of styles. Draper going for his first title. But don't sleep on Shevchenko and Umber. Honestly, these are two talented players. I think it's going to be a great match. I really do. So I wouldn't sleep on this one. But, okay. Let me get the scoreboard on here before I head off. All right, cool. Umber, Shevchenko. All right, see you guys in just 3 minutes, give or take. All right, what's up, guys? Back for the call here. Thank you, Ashley. Hope you come back soon. See you in here, Lexi, Max, MJ. All right, we're going from one final straight to the other one. We're going from Metz to Sofia, but players are warming up at the moment. Hugo Umber taking out Shevchenko. Guess what? 2 finals today. 2 finals where both players have not played each other before on the ATP Tour level. Shevchenko has never won a title before. Umber has won 3 titles before, but not a single one this year. So neither player with a title for the year so far. New title winner for the year so far. In this final, no matter what happens, Draper could have been in the last match, but Manarino won, and he had won a title before. But definitely a new title winner in 2023, no matter what happens. And yeah, it should be a solid match. Between 2 pretty young guys. Umber's 25, Shevchenko's 22. He turns 23 next month. Or sorry, later this month. So almost 23 years old is Shevchenko. And Shevchenko's a great player. He has a great backhand. I really like his mentality on court. Very strong mentality, very passionate. First time I saw him play was against Yannick Sinner. I believe it was in one of the Clay Masters. It was either Monte Carlo or in Rome. And he took a set. He took a set off Sinner. And I just really liked the way he played. He had a very kind of likable personality. Very distinct, big personality. Very himself. Very fearless on the... I liked it. He was going for his shots. That's the kind of fearlessness you like to see from young players. Even if he was losing, he was shouting, "Come on." That's what I like to see. I like to see a fearlessness from the young guys really going for it. And that's what I've kind of seen from Shevchenko when I've watched him play. But yeah, young guy. Hugo is playing to crack the top 20 for the first time in his career. And if he gets there, dare I say, he might just stay there. He might become a genuine top 20 player for a long time. We'll see if that happens, but I wouldn't be shocked by it. And he's playing to get there for the first time. Hugo stepping up to the line to serve. First serve is long. Second serve. But yeah, welcome to finals day. Finals day on Quality Shot Tennis. Metz open, Sofia to Metz. Backhand, the forehand of Shevchenko. Backhand Shevchenko. The forehand of Umber. That's too good. Solid winner from Umber. If you know something, if you know one thing, it's the crowd is going to be hyping Umber up because he's a French player. It's a French crowd, so that's what it is. I like the other Savage Garden song as well. I knew I loved it. I haven't heard them, but I have friends that have mentioned them before that I should listen to them. Manarino's definitely going to go dancing on the ceiling. Yeah, great win for Adrian Manarino in that first final, Max. It was a great win. Forehand return. That's a good serve from Umber. One thing about Hugo Umber, he was serving fantastic against Fognini. This is a guy who beat Fognini 6-0, 6-2. He was serving really well, really maximized himself on his serve. So we'll see if that keeps going. It's 30 love. Hugo Umber currently probably has one of the higher peaks of tennis, maybe on the tour. When he's playing amazing, it's amazing to watch. Backhand, inside out, backhand Shevchenko into the net, 40 love. I'm going to see him going to Lionel Richie concert back in 1984. That's pretty cool. Yeah, MJ, I think it was MJ in here was asking me, Anthony, who you picking to win ATP Finals? We'll talk about ATP Finals while this match starting up as well. Because listen, Turin's coming up. Second serve here from Umber. We'll talk about the groups and just kind of general thoughts, and y'all can say y'all's thoughts as well. Please do. Interesting to chat. All right, 4-0 in points so far for Hugo. Listen, Hugo Umber has been a bit of an unstoppable force in finals in his career. 3-0 in finals. And but he hasn't played one in about 2.5 years since he beat Andrei Rublev in Halle, ATP 500 tournament that Federer usually won back in the day. He won that one in 2021, beating Rublev in the final. Umber is trying to go up 4-0 in finals. As good as Shevchenko is, it's a good opponent to get in the final. Shevchenko has never been in a final, rarely been in semifinals. So we'll see what Umber can do with it. Like I said, he's 22nd in the world in the live rankings, and he's playing to go to 20th in the world. He's 23rd in the world, 23rd in the rankings in general. Serve Shevchenko down the tee. It's too good. 15 love. 15 love. Let me know. What do you think is going to... Oh, let me have the scoreboard on here. Let me get the scoreboard on here. Go down for the score. Perfect. 15 love. Cool. Shevchenko serving. The forehand of Umber. Forehand Shevchenko. The backhand of Umber. Forehand Shevchenko. The backhand slice of Umber. Backhand Shevchenko. Forehand of Umber. Kind of buggy whip way up high. Very strange shot. Another lob way up high. Smash Shevchenko. Smash. Umber still runs. But he's way out in the corner. 30 love for the Russian Shevchenko. 30 love for the Russian Shevchenko. This next 2-1 game, I'll go over some of this. They start to go over some of the ATP final stuff. Actually, I could try to get into it now, actually. Let me look it up. ATP Finals 2023. While the match is just getting started. So tomorrow we've got Sinner taking on Tsitsipas in Turin. And we've got Jokovic taking on Rune. Jokovic and Rune just played a great match in Paris. That's going to be on tomorrow. And we'll Quality Shot Times will have coverage for both matches. But that'll be on tomorrow. And the groups are pretty even, I would say, to be honest. You don't always say that for Turin, but the groups are pretty even. Marco scoreboard is frozen. I appreciate Marco. Let me check on that. I appreciate that, Marco. Let me see. It should be one game apiece. Okay, hopefully that helped it out a bit. All right, cool. Now it's back. I appreciate it. 1-1. Because what I see on here isn't always what's actually happening on YouTube, so I kind of have to keep one eye on the YouTube stream. So I appreciate you you checking in, Marco. 1-1. Umber at the line to serve. Serve into the forehand of Shevchenko. Backhand Shevchenko. That goes out. 15 love for Umber. Goes out from Shevchenko. 15 love. 15 love. Like I said, these two have never played before. Umber also, this is the first final of Shevchenko's career. It's also the first final of the season, somehow, for Umber, who's had a great season, but no finals. Forehand Shevchenko, cross score, backhand Umber. It reminds me a little bit of Dimitrov. Dimitrov had a hell of a season. No finals, though. Or no, that's not true. He reached the final earlier in the season. I forgot. I think it was in Geneva. He reached the final. But Umber, no finals until this event, which is a bit strange. I've heard about Shevchenko a while ago. Yeah, in Challengers, Max. He, I heard his name the first time pop up when somebody was talking about, wow, this kid looks crazy in Challengers. Serve out wide. It was earlier this year, though. I haven't known about him for a while. Forehand slap put away. 40 love. 40 love. But yeah, we'll talk about Turin as well during this next changeover. Back in lob. Forehand. Smash. Almost at the line, Judge. Umber yet to drop a point on serve. First serve, just long. Second serve. Out wide, backhand Shevchenko. The forehand of Umber. Ooh, what a shot from Umber. That forehand is massive this year. 2-1. I'll tell you what, Hugo Umber is a guy that I've, listen, when this guy started rising up, 2020, I was like, this is the next guy. I was like, okay, well, he's clearly going to go to the top 10, top 20, top 15 in the world. That's exactly what's going to happen. Well, he doesn't quite do it in 2021, although he had a pretty good season, or a good season. outside of the majors. And then 2022, he starts out the year with a win over Medvedev. I'm like, okay, finally this guy's going to start rising up and get to where he needs to be. Has a nightmare of a season, losing a lot of close matches, and just can't find wins. Very weird, because his whole game, he's a very complete player, has the whole package, whole game, except for the win rate. He has every single strength except for the win rate, and that's to do with the mental side and figuring out a way to win matches, to do with the mental sides, to do with experience. And first half of this year, similar thing happened at the ATP level. He was losing a lot of close matches. He was 3 points up on Sonego in Monte Carlo, 3 match points up, lost that. He's had so many matches like that. He won a couple of challengers, 175-point challengers, which is the highest level challengers that they introduced this year. I think he actually was the guy who won the very first one, or the second one. But yeah, overall, second half of this year is when things really picked up, and he's really shown what he's all about. And I'm very happy to see it. I think he's going to keep rising. I don't think 20 is the limit. Even if he gets to 20th in the world, I really don't think that's the limit for him. Still a young guy. Shevchenko at the line. 1-2. Umber in the net, 15 love. Hey, Robert, I appreciate the 5. Thank you so much for the donos. I especially appreciate you always being here in the streams and chatting up. Always a lot of fun. So I appreciate that. Thank you for the 5, Robert. Robert, you legend. Yeah, absolutely. Robert's a legend in the chat. Absolutely. This is tough for me to call, to be honest. Yeah, it's hard to say. I would say Hugo definitely has the advantage because he has the experience of having been in finals, and he's done so well in finals as well, 3-0. And I would say in general this year he's probably been the better, more consistent player. So I would say Hugo. I would be a little bit surprised if Shevchenko wins, to be honest, but I think it's going to be a good match. I'm going with Hugo. Yeah, same here. Same here. Manarino has a winning record versus Medi 3-2. That's interesting. Very weird. One of the weirder head-to-heads on the tour, no doubt about it. Up there with Demonor being 5-0 versus Murray. Or was it 6-0? Might as well be 11-0. I don't know what it is. But it's, yeah, that's terrible. That head-to-head is carnage, as you would say, Faisal. I see you in the chat. Demonor Murray head-to-head is carnage. 30 all. Serve out wide, backhand. That's a let. 30 all. There's a chance for Hugo to do something. Half a chance. 30 all. I always say 30 all is half a chance. Forehand. The backhand of Shevchenko. Forehand Umber. The backhand of Shevchenko. It's in the net. Break point for Hugo coming. Break point for Hugo. So I've said that stat a couple times. Umber is 3-0 in finals. What were his 3 finals that he reached in his career? They were all about 2.5 years ago. His last one was in June of 2021. And these are the finals that he reached. He was also very good in Challenger and Future finals, by the way, as well. 13-6. So just very good performing in finals. Break point here for Hugo. Oh, big backhand return. Are you kidding me? Right at the feet of Shevchenko. Alexander Shevchenko, no chance there to dig that one out. 3-1. 3-1. But to talk about Manarino and to talk about Umber's finals. So these are his finals. 2020 Auckland in January 2020, one of the first tournaments of this decade, if not the first. He beat Benoit Paire in 3 sets, 7-6, 3-6, 7-6, 7-5 in the third set breaker against the fellow Frenchman. Then he beat Alex de Minaur, which is a solid win in European Open in Antwerp, I believe that is, in Belgium. Yes, Antwerp. He beat de Minaur in straight sets, 6-1, 7-6. And then in Halle, ATP 500 titles, first ATP 500, he beat Rublev 6-3, 7-6. So he's been solid. He's been solid in finals. He shows up. 30 love. They were all a while ago, though. But I would say Hugo is the favorite. 30 love. He's also started off playing absolutely fantastic. He deserves this title. He's been amazing this season. If he gets it. We'll see what Alexander has to say about it. Umber checking the mark real quick, if there is a mark. Always harder to check a mark on hard courts, but 30 love, checking the call. Challenge. It's in, 40 love. Umber looks like he wants to get out of this in less than an hour. Umber is playing quick. First ace of the match. First ace of the match. Yesterday, Umber, I think, had over 10 aces. He was acing it up. 40 love. Umber does the thing that we saw that his fellow Frenchman, Manarino, did in the last match. He was, Umber is also a lefty, and he's also a Frenchman, French lefty player. And he was bluffing like he was going to do the lefty wide serve that is a nightmare for anybody who plays tennis. And but instead he goes down the line, down the tee, 4-1. 4-1. Okay, let's talk about Turin. Let's talk about Turin a little bit in this changeover. So, okay. So the groups in Turin, Djokovic, Sinner, Tsitsipas, and Rune is the green group. And the red group is Alcaraz, Medvedev, Rublev, and Zverev. And I think it's pretty even. I've seen some people be like, green group is better. Green group is way better. Well, Alcaraz and Medvedev are two of the best three players this year, and they've shown up like in the big events for the most part. They've shown up in the big events. And Alcaraz, you know, I know the health is a bit of a concern. Shanghai, he probably would have liked to do better, to play well there, but maybe it's a little bit of rest time to get his body in shape for Turin. Who knows? But either way, never know. Alcaraz, I think, is going to show up to a good level at least. And you have Alcaraz and Medvedev. Medvedev has won the tournament before. You have Zverev, who's won the tournament. Rublev is in very good form. I think red is absolutely fantastic. I don't think it's like last year where you had, I believe, Casper, Fritz, Felix, and Rafa in a group. All four of those guys aren't in this tournament this year. But you have these four guys. I think Rublev is in fantastic form. And Alcaraz is always just a threat. And Medvedev is Medvedev. And then you have Zverev, who's been good 10 this year off. So I think it's a good group. And then obviously in the other group, you have Sinner and Djokovic, who are unbelievably good at the moment. You have Holger, who is very good at the moment. He's really stepped up, and he likes the indoor courts. And they have Steph. If Steph is healthy, it should be good. But Steph and Rune, a little bit up and down second half 2022. So although you have Sinner and Novak, maybe it's those other two that might be a step down, although they have gotten a little bit better form recently. So we'll see. It's an interesting event. I reckon it's going to be very tough for Holger or Steph to infiltrate Sinner and Novak getting to the semis. I would personally say that. I think Zverev is going to have a tough time against Rublev and Medvedev, although not impossible. Scoreboard stuck again. I appreciate it, Robert. I don't know why that is. Let me try to fix that up. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the scoreboard. Oh, there it goes. Updated. I think that was the scoreboard, not. I think that was the people just not updating the scoreboard, but I'll keep an eye on that. Going with Ego, yeah. But yeah, so Turin is going to be interesting. Zverev definitely can beat Medvedev. He can beat Rublev, but those guys have kind of held his number. Alcaraz, the last few times they've played, has done very well against Zverev, not namely at the U.S. Open as well. 4-2, by the way, Shevchenko with the hold. But yeah, I don't know. Djokovic is on a crazy win streak, but all win streaks must come to an end. Sinner and Rune are going to be very tough to play. So we'll see. I don't expect Steph to beat him, to be honest, especially considering that there are health concerns. But Sinner and Rune, they might have a shot. We've never seen Sinner Djokovic on hard courts. I am more excited for that match than potentially any other match next week. I've wanted to see Sinner Novak on hard courts. We've had them one time on clay and I believe 2 times on grass. I need to see them on hard courts. Serve, Umber, down the tee, goes just wide. Second serve. Kick serve, the backhand of Shevchenko, backhand, the forehand of Umber, backhand, the forehand of Umber, backhand Shevchenko, the forehand of Umber, backhand Shevchenko, the forehand of Umber, forehand, backhand Shevchenko, backhand of Umber. It's not like the last match. We got a lefty versus a righty. 3 of the 4 finalists this week are left-handed players. I don't know the last time that's happened, but 3 of the 4 players are left-handed. 3 of the 4 finalists this week are left-handed. This is the last regular ATP final of the season before Turin. Going into Turin, this is the last one. We'll see if Hugo can end his season with a bit of a bang. He deserves it for the season he's had. Sinner Novak, I've never played on hardcourt before. That's interesting. Yeah, it is. I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for it for forever. I can't tell you how long I've been waiting for it. Ever since I've been a Sinner fan, I'm like, I want to see Sinner play Novak. And specifically, I want to see them play on hard courts. I've been waiting for Sinner Novak hard. I feel like it's a really interesting kind of neutralizer. Both are great on hard courts. Lob way up high. I mean, Novak's had the upper hand in experience on grass courts. Listen, Sinner's experienced on hard courts. Something else I'll say about Turin, kind of a double whammy about Turin ATP Finals. Novak didn't win the ATP Finals from 2016, 2021. Not to be like one of those guys like, well, there's still a chance. Djokovic's not necessarily gonna win it. Like, I know Djokovic is like the big favorite. He's basically got the trophy in his hands, but I just want to point out the fact that Murray beat Novak in 2016, and then team beat Djokovic in 2019. Who was he? Either Zverev or Medvedev beat him in 2021. He's lost a few matches in Turin. And at 36, he's had a long season. He had a big win in Paris, but a lot of close matches. He's on a bit of a win streak, but all win streaks must end. You never know. And even if, say, Jannik Sinner, if Sinner loses to Djokovic in their round robin, they could play again in the semis or the final, and Sinner could maybe regroup. Who knows? There's a lot of possibilities. That's one that I'm personally interested by, is that one. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think Shev will win at least one set. I think it's going to be straight sets, Hugo, but I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I was 50-50 between 2 sets, 3 sets for Umber coming in, but now that it started, I feel like it might be straights, but we'll see. Shout out Shevchenko though. He is a talented guy who I think is starting to get credit, but deserves more credit as a name who's on the tour. Deserves to be mentioned. Backhand into the net from Umber. 40-30. I feel like he started too late though. Like Alcaraz was perfect. Alcaraz was like, yeah, I'm like 15 years old. I'm already here. I'm here to dominate. Like if you're like 22, people are like Shevchenko's about to turn 23. People are like, I don't care. Like you're already old. I don't care. But he's still a pretty young player. He has so much time to improve. He's a promising player. 40-30. He's kind of come up too late, but I'm excited about him. Forehand cross court is good for Umber. 5-2. 5-2. 5-2, Robert. Yeah, I appreciate the donut, Robert. Yeah. It's awesome. It's awesome. Appreciate you joining in as well, Manor. Manor, who are you rooting for? Let me know. Who are you rooting for? It's looking like it's going to be Hugo. So I hope you, for your sake, I hope you don't say Shevchenko because Hugo's got the lead. Hugo has the lead here. This is fun. I'm enjoying doing the back-to-back finals, though. I've never done this. I don't think I've ever done it in one stream where I do back-to-back finals. Initially, this was going to be a doubleheader where I do the kind of Cam Williams thing where he kind of originated and do like call 2 matches at once. I'm going to do that at some point. I'm excited to try it out. It will be hectic, but I'm excited to try that out. But it wasn't to be this because initially I thought the times were 8 o'clock, 8 in the morning. Yeah, this one started at 10:30, but it was perfect. It was actually perfect because the Draper match ended literally like 5 minutes before this one was going to go on because that one lasted a little while. So it was pretty much perfect to transition. Crowd doing the wave, by the way. The crowd's enjoying it. French crowd is enjoying it. Metz wasn't played at this time of the year last year, but the ATP Tour kind of ends in France before going to Turin this year, which is pretty interesting. I think Metz was played in September last year, along with Sofia, which was also played in September. I know Sofia was. I'm pretty sure Metz was. It might have been October, but Shevchenko with the serve. First serve goes long. Second serve. Wow, Umber with a hell of a backhand cross-court return. Shevchenko's learning what's up. Shevchenko's learning what's up. Listen, I was saying Shevchenko like he's a late bloomer for a young guy. Umber is the real late bloomer for a young guy. He's finally hitting his stride. 15 all. Umber is showing him what's up right now. Anthony, I don't mind. Okay. You go camp. You go camp. You go's definitely winning right now. You go at 5-2, 15 all. Serve out wide, backhand. You go. That's too good. Shevchenko shank. I don't know if it's nerves or what, but Shevchenko not really playing his game at the moment. But it's partly to do with Hugo. Hugo is the problem. The crowd is into it. Shevchenko's got to fight the crowd and his opponent. First serve is long. Second serve. Shevchenko's got to regroup because this set, how long has this first set been? It's not been very long at all. Been about 25 minutes, I think. Yeah, 23 minutes. By the way, does Manarino even have a sponsor? Because it doesn't look like it. That's a good point. Yeah, I don't think so. He always wears the most like weird casual clothing. I don't think he does. Manarino is so random. I remember earlier in the season during the Australian swing, Manarino wore something really weird. And people are like, Manarino just isn't sponsored. This guy's just like, just doing his own thing at 35, no sponsor. Still winning all the 250 titles throughout the whole season. 40-30, ace from Shevchenko, 40-30. 40-30, 2 aces so far. Serve coming from Shev. Out wide, goes long, second serve. Serve out wide, forehand Umber. Just out. Might be a challenge from Umber. It was close. Challenge from Umber coming. Bit of a late challenge. Shevchenko looking at the mark. Shevchenko doesn't look that confident about it. That terrible call from the lineup because that was terrible call from the line judge because that was splat on the line. Bad call. It was 2 in. It was 2 in. There's somebody watching that line. Should have seen it. It's 40-30. Or deuce because it was a winner. Called Umber's point. No argument from Shevchenko. Back in return into the net from Umber. Advantage to Shevchenko. The crowd is still into it. I love it. G in the chat. Minor. Can tab y'all in here. I don't think he used to have hydrogen. That's interesting. I don't even know what that is. Serve down the tee is an ace from Shevchenko. 5-3. 5-3. Power coming from the Russian as well. Manarino's sponsor is Target. Just shopping random things on Target. His sponsor is a thrift store. Let me see if Umber played for the Davis Cup. Yeah, Davis Cup finals coming on. Is France qualified for Davis Cup? I would assume they are, right? They got Manarino. They got Umber. They've got Feast. They've got so much talent. It's crazy. France has been good for the last 20 years. They just can't. They've just been at tier 2 forever. They've been at tier 2 for the last 20 years. Or really like tier 1.5. They're just right behind Federer, Nadal, Jokovic, which have been stealing everything. But you've had Gasquet, Tsonga, Monfils, Gilles Simon. You've had all these guys, particularly Tsonga, I would say. But Monfils as well. Gasquet's been around for a while. Got to 3 Masters finals. You've had these guys that just below where they need to be. But right now, you've got some good French talent. So shout out to France. I want to see the OG countries take back the reins. I want to see the OG 4, the big 4 countries. I want to see the big 4 take back the reins. Because Australia, Great Britain, United States, and France, they used to be the kings of tennis. They were winning everything. Back in lob, smashing bear. That's put away, 30 love. They're winning everything. We need to see the OGs back at it. We had Andy Murray. Andy Murray was great for Great Britain. We had Murray. But outside of that, it's been a bit of a struggle. So we'll see. Serbia, Spain, and Switzerland came up and like, we're the countries. But we only have one player. I mean, Spain certainly had more in the 2010s, but they were dominating mostly because of 3 guys. I want to see the OG countries. I want to see more US guys doing better. I want to see more Australian guys doing better. I want to see the French tennis pop up. Listen, Hugo Umber, when he's at his best, if he can do it, who knows? Who knows at the majors? 30-15. Who knows? You never know. Still pretty young. Archer Feasted. Yeah, Feast. Feast is the best, one of the best examples of French talent, in my opinion. I think Van Osch is underrated as well. I think Luca Van Osch could be top 20, top 10, to be honest with you. I think his potential is higher than I think some people give it credit for. But Archer Feast, I think I've said for a while, I think Archer Feast has top 5 potential. We'll see if he gets there, but his potential is there. 40-15, very talented guy. So we'll see. Also, Arthur Kazau. People don't put in Arthur Kazau, but he's a talented French player as well. All court, very skillful player, very complete. I would watch out for Kazau as well. There's a lot of French guys. There's a lot of French guys doing well. Serve down the tee. That's too good. It's an ace from Umber. He's one set away. I don't think there's a single player on the ATP Tour, any player, who's been to 4 ATP finals, at least 4 ATP finals, and has lost none. That's what Umber is trying to do. He's also trying to get to the top 20 in the world for the first time in his career. Very deserved. Very deserved. Also, he would end the year #1 for the French. We'd have 2 French champions in the same week. Manarino pulls a wrinkled white t-shirt from the laundry basket and throws it on. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Literally all the time, yeah. Nervous final for Shevchenko so far. Yeah, not really playing his game all Mano. I've seen Shevchenko play way better than this. This isn't a good summary of Shevchenko's game. I think he's a bit nervous, and he's a bit nervous because of Hugo as well. A bit nervous because of the crowd, because of Hugo. Also, he hasn't done this before. So, he's nervous. Robert, yeah. Just any white shirt, a random white shirt. The one that Ivashka and Martin wearing. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Ivashka is always in the same fit. Anthony is the brand with the skull. Sure, I love it. I don't remember the name of it, though. Remember that Israel was #4 at 2009. Is that in Davis Cup, or where is that? In 2009. I don't remember that. Australia is only good for journeymen at the moment. We love being ranked between 50 and 100. Yeah, I know. It's kind of unfortunate. Jordan Thompson is a guy that you have. I know Jason Kubler as well. Kubler's partner in Australia, why am I forgetting the name? Jesus. I'm a fan of this guy too. Hijikata. Rinky Hijikata. I mean, you had Kyrgios do well, got to the Wimbledon final last year. That was the first major final an Australian man reached since Wimbledon 2002, since Hewitt, or since 2005 against Sofin at the Australian Open. First Wimbledon final since Hewitt in 2002 when he took the title. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit tough right now. De Minaur is doing well. He had a chance to get to Turin. Are there any Americans in the ATP finals? Just Taylor Fritz, no entry. That's it. Just Fritz, no entry. Now, why you gotta do my man Fritz like that? Why you gotta do Taylor like that? For real. I'm for real. I'm standing up for Taylor. Listen, they got close enough. Why can't you put like, I don't know, like what's a player? But Roberto Batista Agut, no entry. Like, he didn't even get close to Turin. Can we put the attention on Batista Agut for a minute? Fritz got close. Taylor Fritz got close, okay? Hubie Hurkacz is an alternate. He might actually play the tournament. That no entry was cold. It's very funny, though. On Davis Cup, it matters who's your #2 and not who is #1. That's true, yes. You have to have the depth. Same thing for all the team events. All the team events. Same thing. United Cup as well. Backhand into the net from Umber. Shevchenko, 30-15. A little bit better start, it feels like. A little bit better start. Though Rinky and Poppy are top 50 now, I think. Yeah, Poprin got to the one Umag against Wawrinka. That might be Wawrinka's last final. We'll see. He had a chance to win it too, but Poprin played a good final. Got the win. Backhand to the net from Umber. 40-15 for Shevchenko. Basilashvili won all his 5 finals. Maynor, are you serious? I've never heard that before. That's cool. Basilashvili. No, he didn't. He lost to Nori in Indian Wells. I think he lost to Nori in Indian Wells, so I don't think that's true. He beat Del Potro in Doha one year. I think in 2018 or in Dubai. Some tournament. 1-0 for Shevchenko, by the way. Getting a little bit off topic of the match, but let me see here. Basilashvili won 5 finals in a row, but he lost his first 2 and lost his last 2. So Basilashvili is actually 5-4 in finals. He won 5 in a row, though, including against Del Potro and Rublev back-to-back, which is pretty impressive. Also a Masters final. Exactly. First final against home favorite. Can't hold it against him. Yeah, the nerves. The nerves are a big thing in tennis. Yeah, if you just don't have it, you don't have it. I'm so appreciative of me having like a spot here. QualityShot Tennis, being able to do the commentary thing. It's so fun. I'm enjoying it. Swantek, where's Basilashvili right now? Basilashvili right now, he's probably outside the top 300 in the world, and then probably next year he'll get back into the top 30. He's doing the Basilashvili thing. He's streaky. If he's not doing well, then he's going to drop out. He's going to be losing to guys barely ranked inside the top 300. If he's winning, then he might beat Del Potro in the final of Beijing in October 2018, right after Del Potro reached the final of the U.S. Open. So Basilashvili is up and down. He's the most all or nothing player I've seen on the 8B tour. He's actually pretty talented, is Basilashvili. I enjoy watching him play, but it's so wild. Yeah, on Davis Cup, we beat Chile to make the semifinals. That's awesome. That's crazy because Israel isn't known as a huge country in tennis, but that's pretty cool. Dudi Sela was a big Israel player for Israel. He almost beat Nadal at the Australian Open one year. Very good sportsman as well in that match. Banana shot from Shevchenko. Shevchenko just not really playing his game. 30 love. He won his first 5 finals. I got you, man. He lost his first 2 though. He won 5 in a row. He lost 250 in Austria in July 2016. He lost to Ryan Harrison here at 250 February 27. At least that's what Wikipedia tells me. I mean, you might have one over Wikipedia, but that's what I see here. Same with Hubie. Yeah, Sinner as well. Yannick won his first something finals. Or you know what? I think Yannick won his first final, and then he lost the final of Miami. Then he won his next 5 up until his next Miami final. I think that's what it was. Alcaraz won his first 5 finals. Carlos Alcaraz won his first 5 finals. So that's something. But Hugo looking to win his first 4 if he wins here. 40 love. Serve out wide, goes wide. Nice to see Ash Barty for Australia winning slams, but in WTA, Ash Barty was surprising. It's surprising, also disappointing. That's a crazy history in women's tennis and a gap in the history. I mean, the forehands of Umber are just to die for. I mean, they're ridiculous. His forehand is such a ridiculous shot at the moment. It's almost like video. Is Hugo Umber's forehand at the moment? If he keeps hitting his forehand like that, he's going to rise up even above 20 in the world. Forehand Shevchenko, the forehand of Umber, inside in, backhand Shevchenko. The forehand of Umber, nearly gets it again, but it's in the net. 15 love. 15 love. Yeah, but listen, it's so funny because the best example of why that's funny is the fact that the first time that Iga Swiatek ever beat a world number 1 was last week. Iga Swiatek beat a world number 1 for the first time in her career last week against Aryna Sabalenka. Why is that funny? Well, that's funny because Iga Swiatek was world number 1 for 75 weeks, and she was so dominant right away. She got to world number 2 with a crazy field at the WTA. All of them getting to number 2. Huge backhand down the line, by the way, from Shevchenko, 40 love. Last year, we had Sakari get to like world number 3. We had, who was it? We had Kontaveit get to world number 2. We had so many players get to world number 2. Swiatek was like the last of the bunch. She got to world number 2. As soon as she did, and she started playing super well, Barty retired. And guess what? Not only did Swiatek rise up quick, she rose up quick because she was playing so well. Swiatek and Barty would have had an amazing rivalry. Lob way up high, smash, Shevchenko, put away. Put away into the corner, 2-1. Swiatek Barty would have had an amazing rivalry. I'm also hoping Osaka comes back. I'm hoping Osaka comes back to her best and that she can play with Swiatek. Can you imagine the amazing athleticism we'd see in that match? Osaka versus Swiatek would be some of the most amazing athleticism in any women's match ever. Osaka, Swiatek, have they played ever? Osaka versus Swiatek? Osaka, Swiatek. They played... Okay, they did play. I forgot about that. They played in Miami last year? I can remember that at all. Is that right? In the final of 2022? I don't remember that at all. Why did I forget that? 2019 Osaka beat Swiatek 7-6, 6-4, but Swiatek was like 18 or 19. I don't know exactly. But Miami last year, is that right? How did I forget that? That completely dropped out of my memory. I guess that's right. Women's singles. Very straightforward match, though. Let me see. I think that's right, though. 2020 Miami Open. Yeah, Swiatek beat Osaka 6-4, 6-0. Totally forgot about that. But I kind of remember that, though. I didn't get to watch it live as it was going on, though. It was late 2000. We were a thing on doubles. Actually, when Duty beat Gonzalez, it was my first even match when I watched. Ooh, that's cool. Introduction to tennis. When people ask, why is it important to have different countries doing well in tennis? Well, it's because it gets people involved in their sport. That's where all the news in their country runs. Listen, America, we got sports. That's our culture. If you live in the States, that's our culture. We run with it. We hear things about tennis. We always have U.S. tennis players doing well, stuff that's always been in our culture. Serena, Venus. That's not the case in a lot of countries. So if you get players from different countries doing well, that's kind of why it's important. That's cool. That's a cool story, Maynor. I agree, Anthony, about the Barty and Swiatek rivalry. Yeah. And listen, it would have been a great kind of, the rallies would have been so fun. Not the biggest hitters around, but you don't have to be at the top of the women's game. That's what both of them showed. Forehand down the line, forehand, Hugo somehow gets back into the point. Backhand, Hugo. Backhand, Hugo down the line. This guy is so talented. It's a joke. Forehand, Hugo. Inside out. It's a joke. 15 love. It's a joke how well Hugo is playing. I think Shevchenko is going to have to play the match of his life and then go 3 multiples over if he's going to win this match. He has to play 5 times better than he's ever played to win this against Hugo at the moment. I'm sorry. Hugo is playing unbelievably well. It's a shame. Swiatek, Barty, and Osaka could have been the WTA Big 3 in a perfect world. Yeah, I mean, I don't really Big 3 for that. Not necessarily like Novak, Rafa, and Federer. I don't think we'll have a Big 3 like them in any facet on either side again, especially with their longevity. I mean, Everett and Navratilova on the women's side dominated incredibly well in the 80s. Celis and Graf probably would have dominated together quite well early 90s or in the 90s because Graf dominated herself quite well, late 80s to 90s as well. But I don't know. The Big 3 dominance is just so crazy that I don't think we'll see that. But yeah, they could have been an amazing like top 3. Absolutely. We'll see if Rybakina, Sabalenka, Swiatek are going to stay the top 3. Let me know in the chat. Do you think Rybakina, Sabalenka, Swiatek are going to remain kind of with any kind of Big 3 moniker, or do you think Goff, Mira, Andreeva, it's going to kind of become irrelevant that they were ever called the Big 3? Do you think Coco Gauff is going to step up instead? Let me know in the chat. What do you kind of think about the future of the WTA? Do you think Gauff is going to step up and be that person, or Zhang or somebody else? Osaka's come back to play the Brisbane International. Yeah, I'm excited about Brisbane coming back to start the year, and I'm also excited about Osaka coming back. Very good news. Swiatek sucks. I mean, I don't know. I find her fun to watch, but everybody's got their favorites for sure. Everyone's got their favorites. It's all good. Whoever you like or dislike, it's all good. We all want to see the old Osaka before the mental struggles. Yeah, I mean, you want to see her doing well as well. And yeah, we want to see that Osaka that was 2019, that won 2 majors in a row twice. 2 hardcourt majors. She was a hardcourt champ, hardcourt specialist for sure. If kind of like Danielle Medvedev. She's a hardcourt specialist. 2-2. I agree. Manny and Robert. Yeah. Are you a cat person, Anthony? Because I like cats. Not huge on cats, to be honest. Not a big cat person. I'm not a huge dog person either, but I do like dogs. I like other animals. I like weird animals. I like weird animals like lizards and snakes and turtles. Like that's my thing. I like weird animals like sloths, seals. Those are cool. I'm that guy. Dogs and cats, not really my favorites. Good defending from Shevchenko. Drop shot. Shevchenko is going to be there too. Or no, he's not. Too good from Umber. Too good from Umber. Love 15. I hope Osaka can recapture her former glory to win another Grand Slam. Yeah, I hope so too. I think she'll be back. Cats rule. Maynor. Yeah, cats are cool. I like WTA like this. Random equals better. For me, it has to be a bit of a mix. I don't want it to be a complete dominance, but I do want it to be unpredictable. Saba, and it's for sure. Reba is a question mark to me. I still believe in Rybakina, but that's a good answer. That's a good answer. I still believe in Yelena, because to me, up until Rome this year, she kind of proved herself to me in terms of consistency. That was kind of her first stint at the top of the rankings, kind of a year from Wimbledon to Rome. And she had a very good first year. She slowed down a bit, but I expect her to find it again. But it definitely makes sense. Sabalenka has definitely been the better player so far. She's also been consistent. She's been good for 4 or 5 years. She's won a Masters or a WTA 1000 every year for the last like 4 or 5 years. So yes, Coco can. Yeah, let's see if Coco steps up. I hope she keeps this form. I think she will as well. Forehand cross court, backhand Shevchenko. The backhand of Umber, sliced. Backhand Shevchenko, drop shot. Umber runs. That's too good. It's so hard to predict, though. Listen, when Jokovic was like 2007, 2008, people wouldn't have said, like, this guy's going to win 24 majors. Isn't that so funny? Isn't it so funny that the guy that people didn't expect is the guy that ended up at the top? That's what happens. History has shown time and time again. That's kind of what can happen. That's what can happen. Even Roger didn't really start winning until he was like 22 or 23. It's all about growth and improvement. Everybody makes mistakes and everybody loses. It's all about growth and improvement. Anthony, what? Funny. Sorry, man. No, I don't know what you're referring to. I don't know what you're referring to. Sorry. Or about Swiatek as well. I don't know. Well, everybody's got kind of their favorites and least favorites. If you don't like Swiatek, that's cool as well. But backhand, forehand of Umber. She's got the WTA finals curse on her. Forehand, that goes out from Umber, 30-40. Hope Coco steps up more. She needs to improve her forehand for sure. Yeah, for sure. But she's improved a bit. There's always room to improve. Yeah. I hope Reba stays on top. Yeah, I'm rooting for Yelena. I think she will. I think she's got. I'm going to predict a really good year for Yelena next year. I'm going to predict a really good year for Yelena next year. That's my prediction. Serve, hits the tape, goes out. Second serve. Waits for the crowd, French crowd. Eager to get behind you there. That's a good. That's in the net, though. A big come on from Shevchenko. Shevchenko isn't afraid to yell a big come on. We got a little bit passionate. I hate that Brisbane is back. No one's coming to Adelaide now. Oh, there you go. I mean, yeah, there's a big give and take. I've just always liked the Brisbane tournament just watching from the States because I like that event, but that must suck. Do you think Iga can win the Australian Open? Yes, I think so. I personally don't think she will, but I think she definitely can. She's got good momentum on her. Forehand from Umber, way up high. Forehand, drop shot, Shevchenko. Umber runs, backhand. Oh, it's in the net. Okay, Shevchenko had advantage. Escapes a risky game, partially to do with Umber. A couple backhands that he should have gotten. But yeah, Iga can win the Australian Open. Australian courts do play a little bit quicker. But she could win. She could win. She hasn't been past the semis. She got to the semis once, lost to Barty. Or sorry, lost to Collins, not to Barty. Lost to Collins. Anthony, turtles are cute. I'll allow you to toss a turtle. Okay. Advantage here for Shevchenko. Backhand. That goes wide. 3-2 for Shevchenko. Don't forget. Don't. Maynor. Don't forget. Maynor in the chat, very aggressive. Don't forget to hit the like people. Yeah, it. Don't forget to hit people. Sorry, Maynor. I love cats and dogs, but no reptile zoo. Okay, fair enough. I like snakes as well. Pretty much. Hit likes equal better than hit people. Yeah, don't forget you yelling and cats make me laugh. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like, guys. We'll be here for more. Don't forget to subscribe, QualityShot Tennis. We're here for more streams, all that. We'll be here for the Tour and ATP finals. Finals week going into the ATP finals this week. This is the final of the year going into Turin. I've had pet canaries. That's pretty cool. I remember the I Like Turtles video. Yeah, that kid is a classic. There's so many good videos of funny what's that one kid apparently who always said a prayer, did an interview on the news, and he's like, well, apparently I've never ridden a ride before. I love random stuff on YouTube like that. That's my favorite thing ever. Just random stuff on YouTube just by random people. It's so funny. The internet is cool. There's a video of family having a pet brown bear. Yeah, that's cool. Dog all day. Cats are dogs. Yeah, I have dogs all day. Definitely better than cats. Dogs are awesome. Dogs are pretty cool. I have one cat. My hubby has two. And Siberian Husky. Huskies are awesome. I love those. I love Huskies. Nice. Very cool. Very, very cool. Do you think Swiatek will beat Rybakina in her career? What do you think the head-to-head will look like? Yeah, she will. But I think Rybakina is going to keep the winning head-to-head. That's my prediction. I think Rybakina is going to remain a problem for Swiatek. Swiatek just really doesn't like the big hitters that push her back, and Rybakina just seems to play well against Swiatek. I don't really know exactly what it is, but something about it just really works well for Rybakina. I'm sure a better analyst than me would be able to analyze it better, but I think Rybakina is going to keep the winning head-to-head, but I do think Swiatek will beat her because they will play a lot of times. But I think Rybakina will keep the winning head-to-head. That's my prediction. Having a panda as a pet must be nice. Yeah, that's very cool. When you say hit manure, what do you mean by that? Then apparently kid, that takes me back. Yeah, that kid is awesome. He has a YouTube channel now, Manu. He's got a YouTube where he's older now. He just does vlogs with his grandpa. It's so sweet. The grandpa that was in that video too. Apparently, I've never ridden a ride before. I've never been on the news. He talks like he's lived in a past life. Like he's already lived 50 years. It's so funny. Back in Umber cross court to the forehand of Shevchenko down the line. That's too good. Forehand winner. Oh, well, really nice. Yeah. Yeah, that video is fire. I love it. Actually, 2 Huskies died of old age. I don't really want additional pets anymore. I get really sad when they die. Yeah, I feel that. It's sad. That's sad. It's so sad. Lexi, it's never easy. Losing a pet breaks my heart. Yeah. Umber seems to be in control. Yes, he is at the moment, for sure. He's playing amazing. It would be very tough for any player to beat Umber the way he's playing. The way he's serving, too. Serve out wide. Back in Umber. Steps around a forehand. What the hell? Backhand Umber. Down the line. Backhand Shevchenko. The forehand volley of Umber. That's too good. 40-15. I remember that anti-oop meme a while ago. Yeah, that was a bit overused, but there are some good ones. There are some good vines back in the day. David will tell you about that too. I know David knows Vine as well. Back in the day. Yeah, listen, this is like the new, I don't know. It's like the Vines were awesome. The Vines were awesome back in the day. They were the original TikTok Vine and the better version of TikTok by a lot. 40-15 here, 2-3. 40-15, 2-3. Umber kicks her to the back end of Shevchenko. Stop the net, 3-3. Umber is in control. Let's look at the stats real quick for the match. Stats time. Statistics. Stats time. New segment for the show. So for the match, these are match stats. For the match, Umber 5 aces, 92% first serve points won is a joke. That's Bublik level a couple weeks ago, 22 for 24. And yeah, it doesn't have winners to errors. I'll see if I can find that maybe, but yeah, totally in control. 57% total points won. Yeah, definitely in control. Won 10 more points than Shevchenko, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot. Very good. Shevchenko actually not serving bad either. 78% first serve points won, 69% first serves in. Umber is just playing insane. 6-3, 3-3. I think it's just been the one break so far, though. Just the one break. Let me see. Yeah, just the one break so far from Umber in that first set. Cool. 53 minutes played. If you see the thumbnail, I did the Manarino versus Draper match earlier. Went 3 sets. Very good final. Draper probably a little bit nervous. He had chances. Played a little bit too much into Manarino's game, rallying from the back of the court. Wasn't opting to down the line enough. wasn't mixing it up enough, not going for shots enough, taking his chances. And Manarino just did the Manarino thing, was very good, very solid, and pulled it out in the third set. And Draper in his first final, we'll see if he can do better in finals in the future, but at least reach a final. If he didn't reach a final by the end of this year, then that would have been crazy, to be honest. Jack Draper, he's way too good of a player for that. 15-30, Humbert. Vine ran so TikTok could walk. Vine ran so TikTok could run. Or sorry, Vine ran so TikTok could walk. At least let TikTok exist. Vine might be the greatest thing humanity has come up with. I said Shevchenko will be top 30 next year, so I'm kind of rooting for him to turn this around. Yeah, that's a good call, man. I think he's very underrated. I like the Stan profile pick as well. Yeah. I mean, he beat Stan a couple weeks ago. Then he beat Taylor. He played a very good match against Sinner in Monte Carlo or Rome. Very talented, great backhand. Very fearless kind of player, even in big matches. Yeah, he's going to rise up. I think he's underrated. I think he's kind of, I was saying it earlier, he turns 23 next month. That's very young. Very, very young. Younger than me. He turns 23 this month. And I think that's just too late. People are like, oh, this guy's not that young. But yeah, he's got loads of time. He's got loads of time. Super Ashley and I rarely cry, only for my pets. Why? It's so sad losing anything. It's so sad. I'm going through TSD for my 18-year-old cat passing away. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that's an old cat too. But yeah, it sucks. Forehand Umber. Forehand of Shevchenko. Back in Umber. Break point here for Umber. Back in Umber. Cross court. Forehand volley. Oh, it's in the net. Nervy volley from Shevchenko. Drops his racket almost on the ball boy. Gotta be look careful. Shevchenko trying to break his racket, doing a bit of a poor job at it, but did in the end. Successful racket break, I think. 4-3. Crowd is booing at Shevchenko as well. A little bit. Not what you want to see, but Robert, yeah, I remember you shared that one time. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. Sorry, lost your cat, Robert. Yeah. Yeah, losing anybody, losing anything is just so tough, honestly. It's one of the hardest things to go through. Shevchenko come take us to a third. Yeah, we'll see what we can do. I like Zinchenko. What is Zinchenko, Lexi? Is that just like a nickname you made for him? Zinchenko. That has a good ring to it. By the way, guys, don't forget to like the stream if you're enjoying it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. We'll be here for Turin next week as well. My thing going into Turin is I have my eye big on guys like Rublev and Sinner. That's my thing going into Turin. That's the one thing I'll say. I'm not going to make any big predictions. The one thing I'll say is I got my eye on Sinner and Rublev. They're playing very well at the moment. Another look at that racket break, by the way. Threw his racket, then absolute cracked it next to the umpire chair. There you go. Shevchenko's angry. Hugo Umber could be 4-0 in ATP finals. That's crazy. He might never lose a final again. Hugo Umber could be a 20-0 in finals. Reminds me of Thomas Muster. Thomas Muster is the greatest finals player of all time. 44-11 in finals is Thomas Muster. There's some other really good players in finals. Andy Murray was actually fantastic in finals, even though he had to play against the big three a lot of the time. Up until 2016, I believe he won 46 out of 69 finals, which is amazing, especially considering the era he played in. 8 of those were major finals. He lost to the big three, or really to Federer and Jokovic. Love 15 here for Shevchenko. Love 15. I can't wait for the ATP finals happening in under 24 hours. I am so excited. I won't be able to commentate a match for Sunday or Monday, but listen, Faison and David, they'll be having the calls for those matches. And then starting Tuesday, I'm hoping to commentate a lot for Turin. We're gonna have a great end to the season. I hope it should be fun. Turin should be a really fun tournament to commentate. Hope that all goes smooth, but I'm excited. Zinchenko is an Arsenal player, Arsenal football player. Okay, got you. Oh, Alexa, I forgot that already. I thought it was a typo again. That's a good nickname, Zinchenko. Stefanos will shock everyone, maybe. People are saying he's going to withdraw and Hurkacz is going to get entry in. no entry. Steph shocking everybody. Steph should play in the same Jesus outfit that he had before. Yeah, just the nice Jesus outfit, the weird outfit he came in on. Imagine if he plays in that. That'd be wild. That goes out from Shevchenko, 15:30. That would be wild. 15:30. Robert, you meant will annoy everyone. Lexi, for your sake, I hope Steph plays because I've been seeing some things. People are talking about Carlos. Steph is looking a little bit so now. I think everyone's gonna play, but we'll see. I have no idea. I hope so. 15:30. Umber serving. Serve out wide. That goes out. Second serve. Serve Umber out wide. Backhand Shevchenko. The backhand of Umber. Forehand Shevchenko. The forehand of Umber. Backhand Shevchenko. The forehand of Umber. Backhand Shevchenko. The forehand of Umber. Again, backhand Shevchenko. We're going ad side to ad side, but it's a forehand to a backhand because we have a lefty to a righty. It's 30 all. Shevchenko with an error wide. If Shevchenko is going to do something in this match, you feel like it should be in this game. He had love 30. Now it's 30 all. We could get a break point, or Umber is going to win 3 points in a row to get to 40-30. We'll see if Shevchenko steps up. Will Shevchenko step up here? It's all on Shevchenko. I really think Rublev is a dark horse to make the final. I haven't said it, but I completely agree with you. Rublev and Sinner. But Rublev is a big dark horse. He was playing top 3 level against Novak. Rublev was playing insane against Novak. He's been playing really well. ATP finals can sometimes be a little bit chaotic, a little bit unexpected. He's played Turin already a few times, has the experience. I think Rublev is a dark horse too, not going to lie. I think Rublev's a dark horse too. 30-40, Umber with the arrow long. This is a chance for Shevchenko. Break point. Serve down the tee, forehand return. That goes long. Deuce. Steffi looked good wearing his carpet from home. One comment said Stefanos looks like he's about to sell tacos. There's so many. It looks like so many different things. It's so funny. It looks like he's wearing a tapestry or something. Tapestry. Which group is Rublev in Noles or Alcaraz? He's in Alcaraz's group. I think the groups are very even. Alcaraz's, yep. I wish Rublev won in Shanghai, but congrats to Hubi. Yeah, that's just a crazy final. Rublev had a championship point. Lexi, let me find that comment on Instagram about Stefanos. It's so funny. We got Deuce. Challenge coming. Well long, and it's back to Deuce here. Oh, sorry, it's advantage here for Umber. Advantage for Umber. Shevchenko with the error long. Hour and 1 minutes played. That might have been Shevchenko's chance here. Back in return. That's in. Back in cross court to the forehand of Shevchenko. Forehand Umber. The backhand. And Shevchenko, that goes out. 6-3-5-3. Listen, Umber, this feels right. It feels right for Umber to end off the season with the title. He's had a hell of a season. He's risen back up. He was outside the top 80, I think, to start off the year. Maybe outside the top 100, I think, to start off the year. Let me look up Hugo Umber's ranking at the start of the year, if I can. Here, ranking history. He was well behind. Not where he ended up. Let me see. Yeah, to start off the year, he was 108th in the world. 108th in the world to start off the year. He climbed back up. He brings a really big game, talented guy. He's won a couple of big 175 challengers. He's 29-23 on the season coming in, but a lot of those are close losses to top guys. Glad he's coming back, trying to crack the top 20 for the first time. All French champions this week, it seems like. Left 15. Chance for Hugo Umber. Serve down the tee. Forehand Shevchenko. Inside out. Forehand Umber. That goes long. That's a little bit too much with it. Shevchenko's. I don't think this final has been a great show of Shevchenko's game, though. I would recommend watch more of Shevchenko if you haven't, because this is not the best I've seen Shevchenko play. The guy can play super well. Watch Shevchenko against Wawrinka, for example, in Basel. He played a really great match there. Serve down the tee is very good. 30-15. Shevchenko can play very good. That's the best way to get attention. He did it great. Totally agree. All attention is positive attention. Zoolander fashion. Zoolander movie, yeah. That was probably way down below all the funny comments. There's so many comments about it. All right, serve here, Shevchenko. Another ace, I think. Or is it just out? Another serve coming here. Would be nice this match went to 3 sets. I don't think Hugo will allow it. Big serve, back in return. Forehand, cross-court, back to Hugo. 4 pass just out. 40-15, goes long. Goes long. Crowd's not too excited about it. Hugo seems too good for Shev today. I agree. I don't think this is going 3, but we'll see. I think Hugo too good. I'm trying to think Stefan's dressing up as a cartoon character. The Steph look is hilarious. He was walking around so majestic too, like he's like, I don't know, not even a tennis player. Serve goes long, 40-30. 40-30. Got to give Hubie credit. He came out of nowhere, made the last month of the race interesting. Completely. He really came out of nowhere. Around Wimbledon, people were like, oh, actually, Hurkacz is playing pretty well. And then he got close against Alcaraz in, I think, Montreal. Or was it Cincinnati? One or the other. And he's been playing well. He's had a great last leg of the season. Starting from the second half, he started playing better and better and better. He is the alternate in Turin, so we'll see what he does. Forehand goes out from Shevchenko. The pace of shot from Hugo has just been too much for Shevchenko. It looks like he wasn't even prepared for it, but Hugo is a big hitter, big hitter. It's Hurkacz in Turin too. He's better than Rune for sure. No, Lexi just missed out. He's an alternate though. Yeah. Hurkacz one of the best competitors on tour though. First serve. First, there's a challenge on the first serve here. Steph has injury question marks, so maybe Hubie can still get in. Yes, that's true. Alcaraz has a little bit of question marks too. We'll see. I always thought Turin's for 10 players. No, just 8. Just the top 8. 2 are alternates. Fritz and Hurkacz are both in Turin, though. Backhand, that's too good. Hugo gets to a championship point. Hugo gets to a championship point. Who else are the alternates? Hurkacz and Fritz. No entry for, I'm not sure Fritz. Yeah, Fritz. Both Toronto and Cincinnati. Yeah, 2 close matches versus Carlos. All right, all eyes on Metz. Hugo trying to get it done in front of the French crowd. That's a guy who's been good ever since he was like 21, 22. He's finally stepping up to the plate. 4th title. Tri-Cac top 20. Backhand goes out, though. If anything, though, Hugo, the mental side has let Hugo down before. Even in Atlanta. Hugo, this is the first final Hugo reached this year. Even in Atlanta, Hugo was close in that semifinal. He should have won it. He had the lead and blew it against Vukic, of all people. The mental side can get the best of Hugo. 1 championship point save. Forehand, the backhand slice of Shevchenko. Just a terrible backhand slice. The crowd is trying to get behind Hugo here. Yeah, for it's a second alternate. Yep, number 10. Other alternate, yeah. So they're in Turin too. Yeah, that Fritz Morgan put a story of Fritz on her story. And yeah, Fritz and Hurkacz. Hubie is there as well. Backhand goes out. Hugo falls on the ground. Hugo's in tears. Hugo's first title in 2.5 years. He gets it done in Metz. Shout out to Hugo. Cracks the top 20 for the first time in his career. And he's fired up. Watch out for Hugo in 2024 is all I got to say. And watch out for Hugo in general. Because he's only rising up. He's getting better and better. That forehand is ridiculous at the moment. Listen, the way he was playing today, he would have beaten a lot of players. Shevchenko never really got any hold in that match, but the way Umber was playing, he would have beaten almost anybody. He goes like this to the crowd, trying to get the crowd support. Shout out to Umber. Solid win. 4th title and 4 finals. Was Hugo injured? Why did he fall out of the top 100? I can't tell you. It was a mystery. It's like It's like Hugo had everything figured out except for the win percentage, the win rate. He was just losing matches. It was the mental side. The mental side was getting the best of him. Because I've been a fan of Umber. I was watching so many matches he played last year. He was losing so many tiebreakers, so many close matches. He looked great. He's a very complete player. Great serve, great forehand, great backhand, good variety. Even great mentality at times. He just can't quite figure it out sometimes. But last year, he was losing so many close matches, even at the start of this year, even though he was starting to do better. But he's finally figured it out mentally as well. Congrats to Hugo. Yeah. Congrats. All right. Appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, Quality Shot Tennis. We did 2 finals back-to-back. Finals day of 2023. Hugo Umber takes the last final of 2023 going into Turin. 2 French winners today. But Hugo Umber is number 20 in the world. Manarino is number 21. Arthur Feast is climbing up as well. There's a lot of good French players out there. Yeah, I appreciate Alexei, appreciate Ashley, appreciate Gene, Max, appreciate you, Robert, as well, and Maynor as well. GG's all around. Shevchenko didn't play his best match. Hopefully he'll be back in another final next year. That's what I hope for. And Hugo, he will be back in another final next year if he plays like this. Hugo's from Metz, so he is the homeboy. The crowd was excited. Yeah, it's done. There you go. Yeah, the ATP final. Listen, ATP finals next week. I'm not going to be able to commentate Sunday or Monday, but David and Faison have the call for you with that. That starts tomorrow. Super exciting. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Sinner is playing so well at the moment. Paris screwed him over with that thing. Paris screwed over Yannick, but I think Yannick is somebody really to watch out for into the ATP finals. I don't want to jinx him, though. And Rublev. I think Rublev is a big dark horse. I would watch out. I'm so excited. We're going to get so many good matches. Alcaraz, Medvedev. Listen, I'm like the kind of guy who I kind of think Alcaraz is going to remain, is going to get back and start winning against Medvedev again. They're going to go back and forth. But listen, on the indoors, Medvedev is in better form than Alcaraz. Even if Alcaraz maximizes his game, Medvedev is going to be really tough for Alcaraz at the moment. So on indoors, that's going to be interesting. That proves to be a compelling match yet again, which is super weird because after Indian Wells and Wimbledon, people are like, there's no matchup here. Well, turns out we were right in the beginning. Medvedev Alcaraz is an interesting head-to-head. Cheers, GG. Yeah. Appreciate you. Screw Paris, Almeo. Yeah, Paris sucks. Yeah, Yannick said, listen, I'm better than this tournament. He was out. Why does he need to play? He's already in Turin. He went out. He said, if you're not going to respect my time, I'm out. GG's Hugo. Yeah, thank you, Mike, for joining in. I'm so excited for ATP finals, though. And I will say again, listen, even if Jokovic, for example, beats Sinner, beats Rune in their round robin, they're going to get, it's possible Sinner Rune get another chance at it in the final. So you never know. ATP finals is interesting. And like I said earlier, Jokovic didn't win in Turin all through 2016 to 2021. It was a lot of other players. So we see what happens. You go. Congrats. No, I know what you meant, Mike. I know what you meant. But yeah, I'm excited for ATP finals. It's going to be fun. And Alcaraz Medvedev is a head-to-head that I'm so excited about. Both those guys could not play more different, but yet they're both such creative players on the court. So that's always fun. And we've never seen it on indoors. So all around, Medvedev Alcaraz, first time on indoor hard courts. Rublev Alcaraz, first time they play ever, period. Sinner Djokovic, first time on hard courts. We're going to get so many good matches. So I'm excited. I'm hoping to call that Sinner Djokovic match. Join in for that. And, but yeah, we'll see what all happens. And David Faison will have the calls for you tomorrow and Monday as well. All right, I'm out of here. Hugo Umber won 6-3, 6-3 over Shevchenko. Gets his 4th title, 4-0 in finals. Top 20 for the first time. Big watch out for him in 2024. He deserved to end the season with a title because he's been playing amazing, very talented, big game. Finally crossing the lines, which is great, against the top players as well. Next year is going to be a big one for him. Shevchenko hopefully reaches another final. Talented guy as well. Nothing for Hugo at all today, though, in just over an hour. And then earlier today, Manarino got the win over Draper. Jack Draper reaches his first ATP final, but it is the French veterans who got the win over the first-time finalists. And it is Manarino over Draper. It is Umber over Shevchenko. And yeah, Quality Shot Tennis. We will see you guys in Turin. Be there for that. It's going to be an ecstatic week in Italy. See you guys on the next one.